Million, South Dakota. We've got Valley football for you this afternoon as the defending national champions and top-ranked North Dakota State Bison visit the hometown South Dakota Coyotes. Hello, and how is everybody doing? Alongside Andre Field, I am Jay Elson. Andre, this is what these teams are gearing up for all year. Yes, you want to play football in September, but when league play rolls around, it's time to be ready.
And you got to really be ready in this league because even though it's the Dakota Dome, it's a lot like an octagon because it's Valley football, which means it's going to be smash mouth, hard play, and a lot of fun.
Obviously, the series between these two programs goes back a long ways. NDSU has a decided edge in that, but South Dakota coming off its first win of the week last week here at home against Cal Poly. NDSU a tough loss on the road at Arizona. An FBS team 31-28 the final in that game. What stands out about that is the fact that the Bison have not lost back-to-back games since 2009. The Yotes better be ready today.
Absolutely, because I'm sure Coach Ince uses the loss as motivation to really get his team's attention. So they're going to come in ready to go. Can the Coyotes match that energy and see if they can create an upset?
Nobody wants to start the conference season 0-1. That is for sure. Hopefully a good one today. North Dakota State and South Dakota kickoff coming up next. But first, let's check in with our friends at the South Dakota Beef Industry Council.
I'm Alex Seinert with Midcoast Sports here with Holly Swede from the South Dakota Beef Industry Council. Holly, what's on the menu for our tailgate today?
So today we have a balsamic blue cheese steak sandwich, and it's made with a flank steak. So the first thing you need to do is marinate that flank steak because it needs a little bit for tenderization. After you mix the marinade, you add to a food-safe plastic bag, place it in the refrigerator and let it marinate for about 6 to 24 hours. Take the meat out of the plastic bag and place it on a preheated grill. So now that the beef has reached about 140, 145 degrees Fahrenheit, we're gonna let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. Next, what we're gonna do is slice our bun, use the remaining olive oil and place it on the grill to brown the bun. Assemble your sandwich with the steak, arugula, and blue cheese, and you're ready to go.
Excellent. Thanks, Holly. For more ways to win at your tailgate, go to beefitswhatsfordinner.com.
Living with less pain means living at your best. But an action-packed life can wear your body down. Avera Orthopedics keeps you moving with total joint replacements for pain you don't have to live with. Find relief with the region's largest orthopedic physician team of specialized surgeons so you can keep moving forward. Avera, moving health forward.
First down now. Throw back pass. Bowman. Quincy Vaughn. Touchdown, North Dakota.
You are watching North Dakota State at South Dakota, presented by Agtegra. The Valley football opener this afternoon between these two teams. South Dakota coming in at 1-2 after a win over Cal Poly. North Dakota State a loss last week on the road at FBS opponent Arizona, but a tight one at that. Jay Elson, Andre Fields up top for you today. The third man of our broadcast team is David Brown.
Thank you very much, Jay. Well, Bob Nielsen's first foray into play calling duties for USD was certainly a success last week, but it also might be an indicator of the strategy moving forward. If you take a look at the breakdown of between the first 3 games, you'll see that last week's win versus Cal Poly featured the most rushing attempts of the season and the fewest passing attempts of the season. Now, some of that is obviously predicated on game situations, but Nielsen told us earlier this week that running the ball is kind of like boxing. All the body blows eventually lead to the big shot. You saw that late in the game with a 37-yard run by Travis Tice and a 19-yard touchdown by Travis Tice. We'll see if that ground and pound attack can work against one of the best run defenses in the country in NDSU.
All right, thank you, David. And the Coyotes will start with the football first here this afternoon. North Dakota State won the toss and deferred their option to the second half. So Wesley Elidor, Jack Martin's back deep for South Dakota. On to kick it away for the Bison is Will Cardinal, a junior out of Fridley, Minnesota. Cardinal averaging just about 62 yards per kickoff with 11 touchbacks on the season. He'll try to put this one deep, prevent a return from one of the top returners in the Missouri Valley Football Conference and all of FCS football for that matter, Wesley Elidor. Well, we are set. Valley football opener is upon us as Cardinal booms it deep. Elidor underneath it at his own 2-yard line. Jack Martin showing the way. Big hit there right at the 20-yard line. Sam Young, the safety, getting downfield to lay some wood here early, and South Dakota will start its opening possession at their own 22-yard line.
Now we'll see if they can get off to such a hot start like they did last week versus Cal Poly. Third play of the game, Carson Camp goes 75 for a touchdown. That's the kind of efficiency you want if you're the Coyotes. Got to get off and start fast against these Bison.
And you look at Carson Camp's overall numbers, a lot of that was done last week. Career high effort, 18 of 21 passing for 355 yards. 3 touchdowns, had the rushing touchdown as well. Starts this one under center. Give it up the middle. Tice steps through a tackle. He's out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. And that was something South Dakota struggled a little bit. Surprisingly, I think, Andre, last week was running up the middle. They struggled to get it going for Tice until late in that ball game against Cal Poly. So 5 yards to start. Bob Nielsen will take that.
Absolutely.
Dakota Bank starting lineup for this Coyote offense. One thing of note, the starting center today, Paxton Swanson, a redshirt freshman out of Springfield, Nebraska. First career start for him. He's the third different Coyote to start at center already this season. Joey Lombard was the first. Ben Coles started the last 2, but is out today with a foot injury. So Swanson gets the call. Quarterback draw here for Carson Camp, and look at him go again, Andre. Slides down into North Dakota State territory as the Coyotes, 2 big running plays right up the gut against this vaunted North Dakota State front.
And you can tell this was a designed draw. He really just took a quick pump and came right up the middle. That was a designed draw play to get Camp up the gut of the defense, and he does damage with his legs.
Empty backfield, they'll spot it right at the 50. So shotgun now for Camp with Tice to his right. 1st and 10, South Dakota. Little play action over the middle. Carter Bell was not targeted in that win against Cal Poly last week, Andre, until the 4th quarter. This is their top playmaker in the passing game last year, and he's been held without a catch for 2 straight weeks.
Well, some of that is the defense keying in because they also know he's the top target for the Coyote offense.
That North Dakota defense on your screen now, again brought to you by Dakota Bank. Bison have had some turnover at linebacker. That one's behind the intended target, J.J. Galbraith, but some injuries, some graduations have cost the Bison in that second level of the defense a little bit here in the early going, Andre, and they've been kind of playing some musical chairs, trying to figure out the right guys to throw in there.
Yeah,
it's still one of the top units in the entire country.
Yeah, he alluded to that earlier in the week during the press conference that, no one has actually taken some of these spots. So they're continuing to rotate guys until they see who wants it more than the other.
So first incompletion of the day for Carson Camp. 2nd and 10 from the 37. Javion Phelps, the wide receiver, in motion here. Under center again for Camp. Rolls to his right, now pressure coming. Good protection up front. Finds a man, but a little off target there to Carter Bell as Camp was momentum was carrying him toward the sideline, Andre. Tried to throw that across his body and could not hit Carter Bell.
Never really a good idea to do that, but sometimes it does work. In that case, not so much.
Coyotes wasted no time. Right back to the line. 3rd and long here. Slow it up now as Camp checks with the sideline. Signals coming in there. Got Aiden Bauman, the backup quarterback, in the yellow shirt on the far side of the field. Dante Warren, the running backs coach, involved with the signaling process as well as offensive line coach Andy Prevost. Play clock winding down. Camp just does get it off. Bison didn't think so, and now Camp dropped for a sack. The 14th time this season he has been dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That's Luke Wirtz, the backup middle linebacker, or the co-starting middle linebacker, I guess I should phrase it. But that will end what looked to be a positive opening possession for South Dakota, which reached the 37 of North Dakota State. But we'll have to punt it away on 4th and 18 now.
Bison brought pressure pretty much a majority of that series. The Coyotes did a good job of picking it up. However, the secondary for North Dakota State played very well, forced Carson to hold on to the football, and then there on 3rd down, the pressure finally got to him for the sack.
John Bickel on to punt it away to one of the top return guys in the country. And that's Jaden Price back there, lets this one go over his head. Coyotes good coverage downfield. They'll down it at the 10-yard line, so North Dakota State will get its first shot of the day on offense after the defense holds. South Dakota quickly moved that football into Bison territory, but NDSU got some things figured out, forced the punts, and now they get their first crack at it offensively with Cam Miller as he runs out onto the field. The sophomore quarterback out of Solon, Iowa, has not been asked to do a whole lot in the passing game, Andre, much more the game managing variety, but when you've got a running game like the Bisons, you don't need your quarterback to lead you to a lot.
You really don't. I mean, they have 3 great tailbacks and then an all-world fullback in Hunter Lupke, so you really don't have to do much but turn around and hand it off and let them do the dirty work.
And Miller, of course, extremely efficient when he does throw the football, Andre. He's gone 82 attempts without throwing an interception, so 6 games without an interception. His last pick was thrown in the playoff game against Southern Illinois last year, and that game was already decided when the interception happened. So he will not turn it over, and that's certainly a big key for this Bison offense. Starting in the backfield today, Kobe Johnson, a single setback behind Miller, and they'll give it to him as he tries to find a hole off the right side. Coyotes do a good job gang tackling, getting him down after a gain of just maybe 3 yards.
And the Bison front 5, very experienced group. You have basically 4 seniors and a junior up front. These guys will road grade and come at you for 4 quarters. So you have to strap your helmet on and bring your lunchbox if you're playing against that offensive line.
Starting lineup for North Dakota State, of course, always strong in the offensive line, one of the very best to do it, and that's replicated or evident by the number of North Dakota State guys that are in the NFL right now as they get them ready for that next level. There's no question about it, but South Dakota, a little confusion defensively, have to burn a timeout here early. So we'll step away with 11:35 to play first quarter. Scoreless still in Vermillion.
Dreamer, doer, difference maker. These are just a few things we look for when growing our team at Dakota Bank. Those with empathy and a commitment to doing what's right build their careers with us. If you're about relationships and helping others, Dakota Bank is calling. Will you answer? Go with integrity. Go with teamwork. Go with Dakota Bank.
Decorative towel.
There was a mess. I wiped up a mess.
Yeah, you Where is the Never mind, I found it!
Welcome back, football fans. We'll see you in the fridge.
This game on Midco Sports is presented by Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
You're watching North Dakota State and South Dakota, presented by Agtegra. Still scoreless here, first quarter, 11:35 to go. NDSU with the football for the first time today, facing 2nd and 6 from their own 15-yard line. As Cam Miller steps under center, I formation here This is a lost art in college football anymore, isn't it? As Miller certainly can hurt you with his feet. Takes off and goes. He's still on his feet. Out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. And a first down for North Dakota State.
Tried to do a little play action here on second down. Gets outside. Great coverage on the outside by Harden. Forces Miller to pull this thing down and get most of it with his legs.
Miller did run for a touchdown in that meeting last year with South Dakota. These teams met in the final game of the regular season last year. Bison won at 52-24. Both went on to the FCS playoffs. South Dakota a round one exit here at home against Southern Illinois, and then North Dakota State put another trophy in that already impressive trophy case with a win over Montana State in Frisco, Texas in January. As Dominic Ganella gets his first carry of the day, the Bison will spread it around more so than any other team, I think, in college football, FCS football anyway.
Absolutely. You see sweeping changes here where they sub 4 or 5 guys out. Pretty much both tight ends, both running backs each play to get new bodies in there.
South Dakota defense on your screen, again brought to you by Dakota Bank. Peyton Hillis does get the start today. He was questionable coming in, a game time decision with a shoulder injury suffered last week against Cal Poly, but he was able to go, got the full go as of yesterday, as the Bison just powering it forward, and that gets a pleasant reaction from the folks in green and gold, of which there are plenty here inside the Dakota Dome today, as Johnson ends up rumbling, and it was quite literally a rumble out across the 40-yard line to the 43, 1st and 10 there.
Sometimes I think we might have to remind the Bison, this is American football, not rugby. That looked like a rugby scrum right there. They were pushing that pile all the way down the field.
So empty backfield here now, 1st and 10 for North Dakota State. Miller takes the snap. Good protection up front. Now some pressure. Throws it over the top. Has his tight end, Stoffel, who makes the catch in South Dakota territories all the way down to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to get a deep play over the middle to Braylon Henderson, but good job by the safeties for USD keeping that one covered, which didn't allow Stoffel to find a little small opening in the defense, and Cam Miller finds him for the first down.
Officially give him the 36-yard line, so it's a gain of 21 yards. 1st and 10, North Dakota State. 3 guys in the backfield. Deepest is Hunter Lipke, who had a huge day last week against Arizona on the road. Coyotes stack him up. Got 3, maybe 4 yards on that play, just shy of the 30-yard line. But Lipke, he's a monster, Andre. He's listed as a fullback, but they put him back in the backfield as a halfback a lot of times. 6'1", 236-pound senior out of Spencer, Wisconsin. How about this, though? It gets the Wildcats production last week, 155 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, had 3 catches, 65 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, he's their do-it-all back. And he looks way bigger than 6'1", 240.
He really does. Quick hitter here to Zach Mathis on the perimeter, who's ridden out of bounds, but not before he picks up another North Dakota State first down at the 23 of South Dakota.
Pretty efficient drive right here for the Bison, mixing up both run pass and play action pass, picking up chunk yardage, making their way right down here close to Coyote territory, in the, close to the red zone. So very good job offensively right now, mixing up the play calling for that Bison offense.
Approaching the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. Remember, North Dakota State started this drive on their own 10-yard line. Quickly, though, they've worked it down to the 24 of South Dakota. Big hit there in the hole as TK Marshall gets a carry. That's already, Andre, the 5th different Bison to carry the football here on this opening drive.
Well, there you go. You mentioned, they spread the wealth because they can. They got a lot of depth offensively, defensively as well, but offensively they want to use it, and by doing so, they keep everything fresh. And when you're getting 4 or 5 yards of carry, that's what you want. You put new fresh bodies out there, it's going to be a long day for that Coyote defense.
Jalen Bussey in the backfield. He makes the catch. Chased down quickly by Peyton Hillis, though, right at the line of scrimmage. Well done there by Peyton Hillis, who's played some exceptionally strong football for this Coyote defense so far in 2022.
Yeah, you know, the linebacking room for the USD is very deep. And they have very good players at each of the linebacking spots. And you see the athleticism there of Hillis able to just run down little, quick Jalen Bussey to get him for no gain.
Third down now for North Dakota State. 6 yards to go. They've got to get to the 18 of the Coyotes. Boy, it looked like motion ahead of the snap there. Yep, and the head linesman does throw the flag, and he will make that call. Looked like the tight end got off a little bit early there, Joe Stoffel.
Into that play there, you see the guys were trying to slow down. Hunter Lipke and Michael Scott ran into each other. It looked like Scott ran into a brick wall right there. Hunter is a load.
So that'll back it up 5 yards. 3rd and 11. Now from the 23 of South Dakota. Bison have yet to face third down on this drive, Andre, so we'll see what they've got in store for us here.
Single coverage up top, Harden on Zach Mathis. Look for that matchup.
Miller, look at that direction right away. Harden is there, he picks it off! Falls back into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Miles Harden with his 3rd interception of the season, and it kills a North Dakota State threat here early in the ballgame.
You know, Harden has actually been a part of 4 or 5 or 6 turnovers for the Coyotes in the first couple weeks of the season. You see a short pass, and Harden does a great job of going up and getting it, and getting the interception for the Coyotes.
Interior technicians.
Hey, troublemaker.
What'd you do?
What did I do about what?
Don't be coy with me, Jerry.
All the ladies in the salon were gabbing about it.
So why are you in hot water?
No. I'm not in hot water. At Intech, we use hot water. Our trained technicians use a hot water extraction process to deep clean your carpets without leaving behind any residue.
Wait till the bunko gals hear this.
Oh, brother. When you need it clean, call the Intech team.
So, you need a new vehicle. What's the best vehicle for you? Where do you get financing? What's your trade worth? Answer all these questions and more at BillionAuto.com. You can compare 16 new car brands and thousands of used vehicles all in one place. Once you've picked out that perfect vehicle, it's easy to apply for credit pre-approval. Plus, estimate the trade value of your vehicle in 2 easy steps. It's car buying made easy, and it's all in the palm of your hand at BillionAuto.com.
Across the rural parts of our country, millions live hours away from advanced health care. But at Sanford Health, we believe world-class care belongs to every patient, everywhere, because our patients are our friends, family, and neighbors. We're bringing quality care close to home, quality of life through better health. Not just for the future of our health, but for the health of our future. Here for all, here for good. Sanford Health.
What a start to this season for Miles Harden. Coyotes came into the day, Andre, with 4 forced turnovers. Harden had a hand in all of them. He had 2 interceptions, 1 against Montana, 1 against Cal Poly, and he had 2 forced fumbles that led to turnovers. Pick number 3 comes right down by the goal line and snaps a string for Cam Miller of 85 consecutive attempts without an interception.
You know, and I think Cam there, when he looks at the receiver, what he's looking at is the DB even. If he's even, I want to try to throw a back shoulder throw to my wide out. If he's not, I can put it over the top. Here, he guessed wrong. Harden was in the pocket and was able to make the interception.
So both teams moved the football on their opening possession. North Dakota State stiffened around their own 37-yard line as Tice gets the carry on first down. Bison trying to rip the football out of there, and he won't allow it to happen. Gain of 2 for Tice, but South Dakota moved it down to the North Dakota State 37 before stalling out on their first possession. Bison get down to the 24 of South Dakota before that interception from Harden, so the score stays at 0-0 for now, and Tice and the Coyotes facing 2nd and 8 from their own 22. Shotgun formation again. Quick shot to Tice out of the backfield. He's out to the 30-yard line, or really close to the first down. Depends on where they spot him out of bounds. They're going to call him out at the 29. So a yard short, 3rd and 1 coming up.
And, you know, we mentioned how in that first Coyote offensive series that the Bison were getting pressure and the Coyotes were able to get around the pressure and still make plays. Here, they're still getting pressure into the backfield, so you combat that with a quick hitter out in the flats, which is kind of like an extended running play on those types of throws.
That was the 7th catch of the season already for Tice, who has the first down, and that has to feel good for this South Dakota offense, Andre. They have really struggled moving the chains on 3rd and short.
Yeah, and a down you gotta have, because that's the most important. Now you don't get it, you're punting, so you gotta have some efficiency. You really want to be somewhere in the 50 or above % range on 3rd down to really feel confident about what you're doing offensively.
How about Tice running over All-American safety Michael Tutsi on that play? Play action, looking over the middle. A little contact there. South Dakota faithful want a flag there, as it looked like Elidor and the defender just got tied up with their feet a little bit. Incidental contact's not going to draw the flag.
Yeah, it really isn't. I mean, there's going to have to be ball in the air, chance at the catch, and then grab and see right there. He just makes he breaks to the spot and they kind of run into each other. That's one of those where, yeah, like you say, it could be a little 50-50 call. Ref might give that one. Obviously here he did not.
Carson Camp pleading his case to no avail, but Destin Talbert was the man in coverage that time. Senior out of Darien, Illinois. Pass falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. Ball at the 38-yard line. This is Cole Stenstrom, who last year, Andre, was the backup quarterback, has since moved to running back this year, as Aiden Bauman has come into the program, kind of taken over that number 2 spot. Now Stenstrom, really athletic guy, and that's what he does really well, is run the football. Not much there this time, though. Gets a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 9.
So, I mean, typically if you know that and your coach Inch, you know, okay, when he's coming into the game, they're typically probably going to run. But the fact that he is a quarterback and can throw it makes you have to play it honest.
Coyotes stack wide receivers on each side of the formation, try to set up a screen, and it's almost a disaster there as Camp just throws it down into the turf. The closest guy to it was Nick Kubitz, the other middle linebacker for this North Dakota State defense, and South Dakota will punt it away again.
Again, pressure in the face of Camp. They're getting guys into the backfield, or they're moving the line of scrimmage back 2 or 3 yards, which gets into the face of your quarterback or your running back, etc. So great job right now up front for the Bison.
Coyotes had some success in the screen game last week against Cal Poly. A little different animal, though, today against North Dakota State. I think they just found that out.
Yep.
Bickle to punt, pressure coming, and they almost get to him. He goes down, flag comes in, trouble handling the punt on the other end, and now we've got a mad dash for the football. They say North Dakota State got it back with Jaden Price, but the question here is, are we going to get a roughing the kicker or a running into the kicker? Bickle went down quick.
Man, and it's so close because it doesn't look like anybody's pushed into him, which would give you the definition of roughing, but we'll see.
NDSU brought the house that time. They had 4 guys attacking that shield behind the snapper, Dalton Godfrey. And I'm guessing this is going to be a running into. Oh, they do go personal foul. It's going to be a first down for South Dakota.
There you go. You said they have 4 guys that were right there on the spot, and a couple of them. It's funny because where the protectors are, you have to kind of get around those guys first, and so.
Oh, yeah, and so Dawson Weber is the guy that sails in there. He's their starting free safety for North Dakota State. And again, you have to allow the punter a place to land.
Right.
And that was kind of eliminated by the way that Weber kind of soared in there. I mean, he was thinking block all the way. He wasn't trying to make contact with the punter, and he had a real shot at getting a piece of that. Bickle did a nice job just to get it away.
I agree.
So new life for Bob Nielsen in the South Dakota offense here as they move it all the way into NDSU territory. And a fresh set of downs now at the 46 of the Bison.
You know, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Bison, when they blitz, if they're going to blitz up the middle to try to see if they can put some pressure on that rookie at center.
Quick shot to the perimeter for Martins. Had a 70-yard touchdown catch last week against Cal Poly, the first of his career. And Dawson Weber looks slow to get up here for NDSU, and that's a big concern for them. A very good player on the back end of this defense. Senior out of Elk Grove, California, the guy who just got flagged for that roughing the punter.
Right.
And he does manage to get back to his feet. I think they're going to have him come off for at least a play there since they stopped the play. See if you can see here. Oh, just runs straight up, head-on collision there with Martins that time. And Martins got the better of it. But Weber looks to be okay as he makes his way over to the sideline unassisted.
It's where you assume he probably has a stinger or he got a little bell rung. So they'll definitely get him to the side and evaluate his condition, see if he can get back in there.
9-yard pickup there for Martins. 2nd and 1 at the 37. Tice ducks under a tackle. Inside the 30, Tice almost got through another one, Andre, and he's down inside the 25-yard line.
He's so hard to bring down. He just keeps his legs churning over and over, and so it's hard. Even when you grab him, you can't grab him long enough to just hold on. You see him just stepping through tackles and pulling guys. He's such a load, but that's why he is who he is for this Coyote offense. He's their man because not only can he get you those tough yards, but he can get a lot of yards after contact.
Coyotes have to use another timeout here with 2:44 to play in the first quarter. So something a little off communication-wise right now, but we'll step away. South Dakota on the move, looking for the first score of the day against North Dakota State on the Ag Tegra scoreboard.
Your first car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Then and down the road. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents.
Powerful and playful. Delicate and precise. Bold and carefree. It's the way you move, and it moves us. To deliver care for your whole family. To provide options beyond the expected. To help you leave pain in the past and find your way forward. Orthopedics and sports medicine at Sanford Health.
The communication was unbelievable. Every step of the way, I felt like somebody was there for us to answer any questions that we had.
CU Mortgage Direct is here to assist you with your home buying experience.
We've done a few different mortgages in our lives, and it's honestly been the easiest process. The relationship side has been great. I can't think of another situation where we've had it in a way that felt so comfortable.
CU Mortgage Direct. Simple solutions, direct results.
South Dakota's last win against North Dakota State came back in 2015 in Fargo, 24-21 that day. Since then, they've been buried by the Bison. Last 5, all in favor of NDSU by an average score of 47-17. That includes last year's 52-24 romp for North Dakota State up in Fargo. Scoreless as we approach the end of the first quarter, Andre, and I think that's part of the key. In those games that were lopsided, South Dakota dug itself a huge hole early, and about 10 minutes in, they're doing a much better job with that, and in fact, they're threatening here. 1st and 10 at the 24 of North Dakota State.
Yeah, I think they'll take this all day.
Over the middle, it's there for Elidor, and he can't hang on, but a flag comes in from the back judge. This will be pass interference against North Dakota State.
And what I'm sure they're going to call here is that Courtney Eubanks must have had hands on him, because he wasn't really impeding his route, so he must have had his hands all over him, and then, of course, went to make the PBU, and the back judge caught it.
And I think, Andre, is, sometimes they say penalties are smart. I feel like that one might be a smart one from Eubanks because potential touchdown was there if he doesn't disrupt that play ahead of time.
Yeah, and, there was a safety there, so maybe, but to your point, it was going to be a big play, first down inside the 10-yard line, if nothing else.
Yeah, he's hugging him from behind. It's a good call. But two big penalties on this sequence. I guess we have to call it a sequence or drive because the drive didn't really end. Remember, South Dakota punted away.
Right.
NDSU called for roughing the punter, kept the drive alive, and now a pass interference gives South Dakota a 1st and 10 at the Bison 10. Camp tried to follow the lead of Travis Tice, wasn't there. He's dropped after a gain of 1. It is a a goal-to-goal situation, so South Dakota can't get another first down. But they have not spent a lot of time in the red zone so far this year, Andre. The Coyotes last week scored 4 touchdowns of 40 yards or more. Only 1 touchdown in that game came from the red zone. It was in the 4th quarter, 19-yard touchdown run from Travis Tice. Coyotes came in 2 of 4 on the day, so their first trip here today as they get set on the formation is Camp. Play clock winding down. It's at 1, and the Coyotes have to use their last timeout of the first half with 1:51 to go in the first quarter. They've used 1 on defense, now 2 on this drive offensively. And that is not ideal.
Yeah, that is not ideal. That's rough to have to burn all 3 timeouts, basically because you didn't have it figured out in the huddle or on the sideline prior to the play. Now, I definitely understand you want to make sure you take advantage of the opportunity. You mentioned how they haven't been in the red zone very often, so you want to make sure you get it right. But wow, now to have the whole rest of the half with no timeouts, that's rough.
Plenty of green and gold in the stands here as this fan base travels as well as any in the country, especially at the FCS level. Obviously notorious for their activity down in Frisco with all the success that North Dakota State has had down there, winning national championships.
I'm actually a little surprised, Jay. I thought it would be a lot more yellow in here today.
And I think there would have been had not so many made that trek to Tempe, Arizona, or excuse me, Tucson, Arizona last week for the game against Arizona. Camp steps out of the pressure, takes at Avera Orthopedics.
When it comes to bone and joint health, the saying is true. If you don't use it, you lose it. Getting up and exercising is vital to keep your bones strong and prevents joints from stiffening. Maintaining a healthy, balanced diet will not only keep your weight down, but it will also take pressure off your joints. Starting a wellness journey is not always easy, but
that midfield's doing work here. It was Bowman finding Megan Gray in the middle. A good save by Livingston. Maddie Livingston making 4 saves in total on the day. This was the goal, though, that opened it up. Sophia Romine from distance. The beautiful strike from 20-plus yards out. That made it 2-0. That goal coming in the 58th. And then 10 minutes later, a bouncing ball in the box. Romine there for her 2nd of the afternoon. UND, though, would fight back in the 84th minute. A beautifully worked
to the wire, right, a last-second field goal. And I wouldn't be lying, or I would be lying if I told you that those teams forget something like that. Like, that's something you remember, right? But I think both teams coming into this undefeated in the Missouri Valley. So look forward to what we're going to see today.
Well, a big reason why North Dakota has been able to pull out some late wins is what they've been able to do on the ground. 3 straight 100-yard performances by...
Presented by Agtegra, the top-ranked Bison. Out in front for the first time today, 10-3 on the strength of a 2-yard touchdown run from Kobe Johnson. That came off the first South Dakota turnover of the day, a fumble from Travis Tice. And the Bison put back-to-back scoring drives together after a short field goal from Griffin Crosa. Get into the end zone with Johnson, and it's 10-3 NDSU. Now the question, I think, if you're South Dakota, Andre, is how you respond to the fact they went toe-to-toe with this team for a quarter. They've done some impressive things on both sides of the football, but how do you respond? Because in the past, when NDSU's gotten a lead on them, things have not gone very well for South Dakota. Can they avoid a similar turnaround here today? As underneath it is Elidor. Elidor has a seam out across the 30. Nice return for Wesley Elidor. And 1st and 10, South Dakota will start at their own 32.
Yeah, you look at it, you get to the sideline and say, hey, we fumbled, we got to hold on to the football. But let's go back out this series, hold on to the ball, and see if we can continue to do what we did the first 2 drives, which was get yardage, try to put some points on the board.
South Dakota to this point
is going to be holding them out, holding that D-line out.
Right. And USD averaging 5 yards a play to this point. You'll take that number.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
They come out, though, with a empty backfield. Now they'll bring Shamari Lawrence To the right of Carson Camp, 1st and 10, South Dakota at their own 32. They trail it 10-3. And he didn't get it off in time. It's a delay of game. Communication, rhythm issues in this first half have been one negative, certainly for South Dakota, who used all 3 of its timeouts in the first quarter this afternoon.
Because of miscommunication or not having the right communication. And they got to get that part figured out at halftime because you can't continue to do that.
So that'll back him up 5 yards. Shamari Lawrence on the field for the first time today. Tice had done all of the heavy lifting to this point.
Man-to-man, no backers in the middle of the field.
Swings it out to Lawrence, who's tripped up immediately. There to make the stop for North Dakota State. Luke Wirtz, who's had a solid first half for the Bison.
Solid tackle, too, right there in space on Shamari Lawrence. Gets him right down to the ground. Great job.
Got a couple back, but still a 2nd and 12 in front of the Coyotes here. Under 7 minutes to play, opening half. Valley opener between these two teams. They give it up the middle, and that one's going nowhere. Big shot to finish him off from Dawson Weber. Weber's been active in this first half, Andre. It hasn't all been great news for him, but he's been very effective as normal when he's been out there. Forced the fumble on that last possession, delivers a big hit there to Shamari Lawrence. 3rd and long. Over the middle, that's picked off by Wirtz. And back-to-back turnovers now for South Dakota. And another short field coming up for the Bison.
Nelson's going off because I don't think they got those guys off in time. I do think there were extra players on the field as the Bison were trying to make substitutions when the Yotes were running the play. You see, great job of Luke Wirtz, though, going up and high-pointing the ball. That's some DBs, too. So shout out to him as a linebacker to go high-pointing.
Take a look. Bison trying to get a couple guys off, and that's close. It's tough to see there.
He's still mad about it. Look at it. Coach is hot.
And let's be honest, I mean, he'd be upset about that if they'd have hit a 30-yard play.
Right.
Instead, they turned it over, and it matters that much more.
And here you go if you're North Dakota State. Okay, that's what you want your defense to do. Create turnovers so the offense can get back on the field and wear you out. And so watch them here. Again, maybe some play action pass, but I suspect that they'll come out and hand this ball off a couple times, see how good that Coyotes defense can hold up, see if they're starting to crack the facade a bit.
Jalen Bussey trying to get the edge. Big shot from Harden. The ball is out. South Dakota is on top of it. The Coyotes get it right back.
And guess who? Miles Harden comes up from the corner spot, makes the hit that causes the fumble. Harden right now, as we mentioned earlier, has been a part of every Coyote turnover that they've had in these first parts of the season. +6 in turnovers, and he's been a part of it.
Jalen Bussey is one of those water bug kind of guys. He's not very big, and he takes a huge shot there from Harden. Put the shoulder pad right on the football, Andre. It pops out, and Trey Thomas, man on the spot as he drops on top of it and gets the football back to his offense. That is a huge play if you're the Coyotes right now, coming off that 2nd straight turnover.
Had to have it because you allow the Bison to go down and punch this thing in. Now it changes the whole complexion of the game. So you had to have it. More importantly now, you have to get some first downs. Keep that defense off the field for a little bit.
After a quick look, replay has confirmed the turnover, so South Dakota takes over 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Martin's the man in motion. Snap goes to Camp, gives it off to Lawrence, who drives his way out to the 48-yard line for a pickup of 4.
So we're getting our first look at Shamari Lawrence. I mean, he was on the play for a play the last series, but you know, him and Tice always switch out per series, it seems like. Tice with the first 2 series of the ball game, and now Lawrence. Similar type backs. Lawrence not as strong and tough of a runner, but very quick and elusive.
Trying to pitch it forward there. That was barely there. As the Coyotes tried to get a little fancy there, almost a shovel pass situation there to J.J. Galbraith. It broke down quickly, and I think he got back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more.
And I get it. You're trying to take advantage of the aggressiveness of that D-line, but it didn't work.
So 3rd and 6. South Dakota really wants to stay on the field if they can here, get their defense a break, if nothing else, as we approach the 5-minute mark of this first half. Camp almost picked off again as he tried to touch that one into Carter Bell. Michael Tutsey, the safety, came soaring in, and that football, it looked like it hit him right in the chest. I'd have to see it again, but he wasn't expecting it, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, as you say, he tried to touch pass it, and
maybe he was expecting. He was looking right at it.
Carson Camp couldn't really step into this because of the pressure. And Tutsey, yeah, it hits him in the shoulder pad. He did not expect it to come right to him like that. I'm going to give him that.
Playing the receiver,
he
right?
wasn't expecting that.
So Bickle to punt it away. Jaden Price back deep, backs up to his own 10. He'll try it. Coyotes get hands on him immediately. Great coverage downfield by South Dakota. They actually drive him back about a half a yard, and North Dakota State will have to take over inside its own 10 when we come back. Turnovers for South Dakota. Been a bit of a problem here in this first half. That was their 2nd straight, but Miles Harden forces a 2nd Bison turnover right after that.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
It's time to focus on you, a healthier you. It's time to get back to better health. Regular visits with a primary care provider at Sanford Health can lead to better overall health and wellness. It's time to get back to regular care. It's time for a healthier you and better health. It's time to see your doctor at Sanford Health.
Titan Machinery of Fargo is your full-line case construction equipment dealer for eastern North Dakota and west central Minnesota. This winter, couple your case wheel loader, compact wheel loader, or skid steer with an Arctic sectional snow pusher. The unique sectional design allows the plow to follow the contour of the surface grade, clearing down to the pavement on the first pass, while at the same time protecting your lot, your equipment, and your operator. Stop by Titan Machinery of Fargo to learn more about the Arctic sectional snow pusher for your equipment.
You want to talk about running game riches? Few programs in all of college football have it better than North Dakota State in that way. The Bison came in averaging 235 yards on the ground, 1st in the Valley, 9th in FCS football. But how about this? They've got 5 guys that have nearly 900 yards or more rushing in their careers. Kobe Johnson, Hunter Lipke, Dominic Ganella, Jalen Bussey, Tamarick Williams. They've all carried it here in this first half, except for Tamarick Williams, I should say. But they have had 5 different running backs carry the football in this first half, TK Marshall being the 5th. And so far today, 131 yards on the ground on 19 attempts. It's an average of 6.9 per carry.
And I mean, I'm looking at the graphic. Everyone's averaging almost 6 yards a carry. So you get a fresh back in there each time, and they're going to get you 6 yards? I mean, come on. Every 2 plays, you got a first down. I mean, come on, that's hard to defend.
And let's be honest. I mean, certainly the running backs are talented. That offensive line got a little something to say about it.
Absolutely. I mean, those are the guys that make it happen, right? They don't get the glory, but that average is on them.
Ganella starts it off for North Dakota State with a pickup of 8 yards. That was his 3rd carry of this first half already. I formation here. Miller goes back to Ganella again, and I mean, he's 4 or 5 yards deep, Andre, before anybody gets a hand on him.
You know, and I'm watching there at the end of the play. Jake Kubas, he's up to the secondary trying to drive guys out 15 yards down the field. I mean, this is what, again, they do. They get some big bodies up front, and those boys know how to move ground.
And we you heard David Brown talk what Bob Nielsen says. You know, the running game's like body blows. You use that to set up everything else. I mean, don't look no further than North Dakota State. I mean, they'll take shots, but they'll set it all up by beating you to death up front first. And that's exactly what we've seen in this first half. Don't have a lot of points to show for it thus far. As Miller off play action. Deep downfield, Braylon Henderson had a step on Shaheed Barrows, had probably 2 or 3 steps on Barrows, but Miller overshot him, and it's incomplete. Second and 10 coming up from the 19-yard line for North Dakota State.
Yeah, and Campbell wish he had this one back because he great. I mean, no pressure really. He just opens up and lets it rip a little too far. Braylon Henderson with an awesome post route. Top of his route, gives him a 2-3 step stem, gets to the middle of the field, but can't run down the football.
NDSU playing without Phoenix Sproles today, who was really probably their most dynamic player in the passing game. Had a 75-yard touchdown catch against USD last year. But he is on the sideline today in street clothes. But there's a lot of guys. They don't have a lot of guys that have big numbers in the passing game, Andre, because they run the football so effectively, and they haven't asked a whole lot of Cam Miller in that way. But if you're thinking that because they don't have a lot of catches and yards, they don't have dynamic athletes, you are sorely mistaken in that.
Sorely mistaken. I mean, think about the riches they've had in the past years. And Christian Watson, the first-round draft pick, I mean, he may not have had a ton of catches, but when he caught the football, it was showtime.
And he looked different, didn't he? 3rd and 6 at the 28-yard line. Pressure coming. Miller steps up, finds a man, but it's broken up from behind. Who got a hand in there? There was Barrows to knock it away from Stuffle. Incomplete, and it forces a North Dakota State punt here. Coyotes will get it back with a little under 2.5 to play in the half.
So 2 drives now where they forced a turnover, and this one you forced a punt situation. So that Coyote defense, after getting maybe a little breath, able to step up and make some plays here. Forces Cam off the spot. Great throw, but better breakup by Shaheed Barrows of swiping down at the football, creating that incompletion.
So Caden Steindorf on to punt it away for North Dakota State. Averaging just over 40 yards per boot. Underneath it is Carter Bell. Waves for fair catch, but doesn't even need to make it as the ball bounds out of bounds. A late flag comes in, and this one might be going against North Dakota State based on the action of the crowd on the far side of the field, or the reaction, I should say. A couple of costly penalties in this first half for NDSU, which is, a team that's normally very disciplined.
I would say 2 of them, basically attributed to the 3 points the Coyotes have on the board right now.
Of course, you had the personal foul for roughing the punter and then a pass interference on the ensuing drive.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Kicking team, number 49. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. It's first down, South Dakota.
So that's Hunter Brosio, the fullback.
Number 49's first unsporting penalty of that game.
And you can see here, keep an eye on 49. There's certainly some late engagement there. Oh, he goes head-to-head with the Coyote. And so face mask to face mask there. So costly penalty, 15 yards, moves it right to midfield. So a good starting spot for Carson Camp. The one negative here is he's got no timeouts to work with. Remember, they used all those in the first quarter.
Yikes.
But you only have to go 50 yards, and you've got 2:23 to do it. That's more than enough. Tice back out there for the first time since that fumble at the midway point of this second quarter, and he gets nothing on first down, 2nd and 10.
Pressure in the backfield again. All you got to do is move the line of scrimmage back a yard or get penetration a yard or 2 deep. It messes everything up offensively because that space right behind the line of scrimmage is like a sacred area. You can get into that space, you disrupt all of the execution.
Pocket breaks around Camp's going to tuck it and go. Has the edge inside the 40, inside the 35. Little screen there from J.J. Culbreth to get his quarterback an extra 3 or 4 yards. But a nice run for Camp. I'll tell you what, Andre, the offensive line today, it's been much maligned at different points over the last couple of years. they've held in there today against this talented front from North Dakota State.
And what they're doing is they're creating enough of a pocket for Carson to step up and then get yards with his feet, or step up and still get his eyes downfield to create passing lane.
Camp has been sacked one time on the opening possession, but he got free there and now swings it out to Tice. Tice gets away from Dom Jones, the safety, forced out of bounds, and Dawson Weber lost that battle with Tice as he picks up 8 to the 24-yard line.
I like Dawson Weber. He's a hitter. He wants to try to lay some lumber right there. He lost that battle, as you mentioned, but he's going to bring it.
There's going to be a lot of guys bouncing off Travis Tice in his career.
Man.
We've seen quite a few of them already. Clock stops with 1:34 to play in the half. 1st and 10 South Dakota at the 24-yard line of North Dakota State. Give it up the middle, or excuse me, Camp keeps it himself. Weaves his way down inside the 15. Another first down.
Couldn't get out of bounds, so the clock's going to run now.
But again, almost 90 seconds to work with, no timeouts. But a short field here, empty backfield. As Camp goes right back to work, they wind the clock. Quick hit again. Tice with some blockers out in front of him. And he does get out of bounds this time. They'll give him the 10. Coyotes can get a first down at the North Dakota State 4-yard line.
And that would be key, because obviously if you get the first down, even if you're in bounds, the clock stops to get set.
Destin Talbert was the guy that pulled Tice out of bounds there, worked through the block of Parker Rickard. Otherwise, that had a potential to go a little bit further yet.
One of those extended run plays we talked about in the first quarter, where you just get the ball out quick on the edge to your running back to try to get him out in space and let him go to work.
Tice cuts upfield inside the 5. Brought down at about the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, South Dakota from there. Still over a minute to play first half.
And no real reason to rush here. Obviously, they like to run with tempo, see if they can catch North Dakota State off guard. But you got time.
Back to Tice. Touchdown, South Dakota.
Pretty much the Tice series. You get him out in space a couple times, you fake it to him, and Carson picks up a first down with his legs. And then you give him 2 running plays inside the 4-yard line, and he finishes the deal with the Coyote touchdown.
And how about Travis Tice coming back after turning the football over, and he plays a huge role in that drive for South Dakota, which capitalizes. Both times they've scored, they've capitalized on big NDSU penalties. Started that drive at their 50. And Eddie Ogamba kicks it through, and we are tied at 10 apiece. South Dakota goes 50 yards in less than 2 minutes to even this game at 10 apiece with 58.9 seconds to play in the second quarter.
You know, if you look at the schedule preseason, you know, you would not suspect potentially that we'd be sitting at this point 10-10 with under a minute to go in the half. But right now, the Coyotes have done enough to create belief and confidence in themselves, especially after coming off of a big win last week at Cal Poly. The offense now seems to be back on track. And here we are, a 10-10 game. Right
again, you are watching North Dakota State at South Dakota, presented by our friends at Agtegra.
No matter the game plan, you want a team that will support you from the starting whistle to the final horn. Agtegra Cooperative is your ag partner. Agtegra Cooperative. Strong, stable, dependable, local.
South Dakota, the faithful, jazzed up. A lot of the women's basketball players right there cheering on the fellas here today with under a minute to go first half. Their team even up with the defending national champions, 10-10. As Ogamba approaches to kick it away, Kobe Johnson, the deep man for NDSU. He'll take it 3 yards deep in the end zone, thought about it, and then at the last possible second, thought better of it.
Yeah, great decision there not to come out. I mean, granted, you never know, but I think the decision there, 3 yard deep, go ahead and take the knee, start at the 20. Let's go from there.
Take another look at it. He was watching the up man all the way there. I think it was Raja Nelson that was back there deep with him. And Nelson talked him out of it, apparently, because Johnson takes it. This is a guy that is very effective in the return game for NDSU. Average, it's about 27 yards per return, 7th best in the FCS, so he can go make things happen. We don't want to make anything happen for the other side either.
Correct.
In a game that's 10-10. They go back to the ground here with Ganella. Ball's on the turf. Coyotes recover with JoJo Gaitis. Oh my!
Well, you kind of spoke it into existence there, JU, but you were referring to kickoff return. But here you go, a fumble.
What did we just say, Andre?
On the fumble there?
Dennis Shorter is the guy that got a hand in there to rip that football away. Well, I tell you what, this secondary has come up big in the turnover department. Harden with the interception on the opening drive, then forced the fumble later, and now Shorter forces a fumble as they take another look at this. They always confirm the turnovers, of course. I didn't see anything there that would have overturned it, at least not on the look we saw. Let's see if we can. And you can see knee up, ball out. That's a fumble, and it has been confirmed. So South Dakota catches a big break. Now you have to be careful, though. 50 seconds remaining, no timeouts. Ball spotted. 1st and 10 at the NDSU 28. Camp looking over the middle, has a man. Eleanor, 5, touchdown, South Dakota!
What a big play call right there. You mentioned no timeouts. You got to make sure you're either to the sidelines so you can get out of bounds or keep it moving. Coyotes with play action pass there. Wesley Elidor on the slant route. Catches it at about the 10-yard line. Does the rest with his legs to get into the end zone. And I'm sure that they caught Courtney Eubanks sleep just a little bit, expecting maybe a run on 1st down. He's not paying that close attention to his man. Allows him inside. Coyote touchdown.
That was almost identical to the play Jack Martins took to the house from 70 yards last week. This time it's Wes Elidor who has a touchdown in as many weeks. And the Coyotes, just like that, you talk about NDSU held off the board for the first quarter and change, Andre. They scored 10 points in a span of about 2 minutes. Coyotes just put 14 on the board in a span of seconds.
Yeah, they did, and it's still 44 seconds to go in the half. So it seems like after this sequence, we got a long way to go before we even get to halftime.
That's a great run after the catch that time from Elidor, too. He caught Dawson Weber leaning a little bit too far the other way, cuts it back inside, and then he fought his way in. 28-yard on the touchdown reception for Wesley Elidor. And the Coyotes are back on top, 17-10.
Now, this is a very veteran group that has won a lot of ball games. I mean, let's just be honest here. Number 1 for a reason, defending national champs. They're going to regroup at halftime. But right now, they're also kids. This is also college football. So they're definitely thinking like, wow, I cannot believe that now we're down in this game.
So Raja Nelson back to receive this one. He'll take it 5 yards deep and take a knee. So NDSU will bring it back to the 25 with 44 seconds. You wonder how Matt Entz decides to play this now.
Yeah.
You certainly don't want to fan the flames here for South Dakota and risk another turnover. Do you just try to play smart here and get to the half with the 7-point game?
Well, the irony in that, Jay, is I think that's what they were thinking the last time. They just hand the ball off and they put it on the ground. So again, maybe just a run play. It looks like they're going to take a knee. So that's the even easier way to do it.
So they come out in an E formation. Miller holds himself and burns a little extra clock and then goes down. Coyotes couldn't stop it anyway because they don't have any timeouts left. NDSU has 2, but it looks like we're headed to the half with a 17-10 scoreline in favor of South Dakota. What a wild couple of quarters of football here.
I mean, really almost a wild second quarter of football when you think it was 3-0 at the end of the first. and then all the turnovers that led to points and some of the big plays that happened. And here we are in a 17-10 ball game at the half.
Long way to go, but 30 minutes in, it's South Dakota on top of the top-ranked team in the country, 17-10 in their Missouri Valley Football Conference opener. Coyotes led it 3-0 after one. Bison came back to take a 10-3 lead, but it's the Coyotes up 7 at the break. David Brown is with Bob Nielsen.
Big momentum swing at the end of that first half. How do you harness that energy and carry it over to the second half?
Yeah, turnovers are big. We capitalized on that one at the end. Now we got to stay playing hard, doing the right things, because this is a good football team, and they're not going to give up. We got to play another 30 minutes.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, another 30 minutes, and that is the key. It's a long football game, and you've got to play 60. You're only halfway home. 17-10, South Dakota on top of North Dakota State at the break. Travis Tice gets in. They force the fumble, and then one play later, Wes Elidor, 28-yard touchdown, 17-10 Coyotes at the break.
I'm Alex Seinert with Midcoast Sports, here with Holly Swede from the South Dakota Beef Industry Council. Holly, what's on the menu for our tailgate today?
So today we have a balsamic blue cheese steak sandwich, and it's made with a flank steak. So the first thing you need to do is marinate that flank steak because it needs a little bit for tenderization. After you mix the marinade, you add to a food-safe plastic bag, place it in the refrigerator, and let it marinate for about 6 to 24 hours. Take the meat out of the plastic bag and place it on a preheated grill. So now that the beef has reached about 140, 145 degrees Fahrenheit, we're gonna let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. Next, what we're gonna do is slice our bun, use the remaining olive oil and place it on the grill to brown the bun. Assemble your sandwich with the steak, arugula, and blue cheese, and you're ready to go.
Excellent, thanks Holly. For more ways to win at your tailgate, go to beefitswhatsfordinner.com.
It's time to focus on you, a healthier you. It's time to get back to better health. Regular visits with a primary care provider at Sanford Health can lead to better overall health and wellness. It's time to get back to regular care. It's time for a healthier you and better health. It's time to see your doctor at Sanford Health.
Halftime here at the Dakota Dome at South Dakota with the lead over North Dakota State, 17-10. Well, every quarterback's success is obviously predicated on how well they are protected. And since most quarterbacks, including USD's Carson Camp, are right-handed, that makes the left tackle protecting the blind side one of the most important positions on the field. And for USD, their left tackle didn't even know he was going to be on the offensive line when he started his USD career. But now Alex Jensen has seen the light when it comes from converting from tight end to left tackle.
When he first arrived on campus in Vermilion, Alex Jensen thought he would be a tight end for the Coyotes. But after his redshirt freshman season, there was a second consideration.
We were so short on offensive linemen throughout spring ball. They were just subbing us tight ends in to make practice work. A few coaches just liked the way I was moving in that position. They just proposed it to me. They didn't say I have to change. I could have stayed at tight end, but I'd have a great opportunity. They thought I had a future with it for the program, and I just took that as an opportunity and made the most of it.
Jensen officially switched to left tackle before the 2019 season, but adjusting to a new position was only half the battle. He also had to adjust to a new physique.
Being that undersized guy getting thrown in the fire right away, it wasn't always easy, so I was always having to put on weight as a tight end. Finally got up to a reasonable weight right before I switched, and then I just had to keep packing on pounds after that.
He's a guy that's had to work hard to change his body. Some guys put on weight really easy. That hasn't been the case for him, and to go from a guy that I think came in at 207 or 208 and now be a guy that's, basically 300 pounds, he's worked hard at that to physically develop in a way that allows him to be highly, highly competitive on the field.
That competitive nature is essential for a left tackle protecting the quarterback's blind side. But Jensen's taken it a step further, fully immersing himself in all the dirt and grind it takes to keep his QB clean.
I'd always kind of been like the blocking receiver, so I like the physicality of the game, but just the technique and everything, that's really been something that I'd have to practice, develop throughout my years here. That's been the biggest thing, is just getting used to all the minute details that come with the position that you don't always hear about.
One of the reasons why he's developed himself and been such a big part of our offense is the approach that he takes from a work ethic standpoint and a leadership standpoint, as well as just his natural ability.
Now in the midst of his senior season, Jensen has the opportunity to line up at the next level. NFL scouts have taken notice, but Jensen knows the only way he'll play on Sundays in the future is if he protects on Saturdays in the present.
Yeah, I have that opportunity in the back of my mind, but I also know that it's only going to be there if I have a good season with the guys this year. So I'm just trying to put it all out there with my brothers.
Our league has some outstanding offensive linemen. Alex, one of those, a guy that has all the attributes in terms of size and athleticism that you're looking for in terms of play at the next level. Obviously, he's got to continue to prove that on the field.
I had no intentions of playing left tackle or offensive line. I thought I was just going to be that lanky tight end. Most people didn't even think I could put my hand in the dirt and block people, so as soon as that switch happened, I just took it and ran with it.
Well, Alex says he is constantly working on his fundamentals and his technique, but he admitted that the attention from NFL scouts has definitely given him an extra individual boost this season. And to his credit, there have been multiple scouts down here on the sidelines, not counted scouts from the New York Jets, New England Patriots, and the Washington Commanders. Halftime here in Vermillion, South Dakota with a 17-10 lead over North Dakota State. Your first half stats and highlights with Jay and Andre when we come back.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
Oh, why am I so sore?
There are everyday moments.
We can totally do this ourselves. That hurt.
And there are epic moments.
This'll be epic! Yeah, that was awesome.
When a moment creates a health need, visit the experts at Avera Orthopedics.
Hi, Doc. My knee.
We'll help you move forward so you can tell the story.
Shoulder, my elbow.
Banks like to talk about assets, so we thought we'd show you some of ours. These are the people who work tirelessly to keep your dreams on track. They advise. They volunteer. They coach. They lead. To us, they're our greatest assets. Go with community. Go with the people you can trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
30 minutes in the books on the Agtegra scoreboard. 17-10, South Dakota on top of number 1, North Dakota State. And it was an uncharacteristically sloppy and undisciplined first half for the Bison, Andre. We're not used to seeing some of the mistakes that they made in that first 30 minutes. As we take a look at our Avera first half highlights, that's normal. Wirtz getting to camp for a sack. But on the first possession of the game, Miles Harden with his 3rd interception of the season to kill a potential threat right out of the gate for North Dakota State. But then the Coyotes give it away. Travis Tice, this is when it was tied at 3. Kobe Johnson, a few plays later, in from 2 yards out to make it 10-3, North Dakota State. Camp threw another pick later on in that second quarter. But on the very next play, on the ensuing drive for NDSU, Miles Harden knocks it away. Trey Thomas recovers. And late first half, Tice powers it in from a couple yards out. Ties the game at 10. You think the Bison's just going to try and run out the clock. First play of the drive, they fumble it. JoJo Gaines picks it up. Next play, 28-yard touchdown pass from Carson Camp to Wesley Elidor, his second score in as many weeks. And that gives us our 17-10 scoreline here at the half as we look at our CU Mortgage Direct halftime stats. The Bison doing what they do, Andre. 156 yards rushing through those first 2 quarters at 6 yards per play, but they're averaging on the ground 6.5 yards per carry. But somehow, some way, it's the Coyotes that are on top of the scoreboard by 7. What is it? Penalties, turnovers, things that North Dakota State normally doesn't do.
Normally doesn't do, and things that any team really can't have. You gotta have, you cannot turn the ball over, and you definitely don't want penalties, especially if they're costly penalties. And in this case, 2 costly penalties. They have the roughing the roughing the punter, which extended the Coyote drive. They get a PI, which puts them even closer, and the Coyotes are able to get points. So yes, to your point, if they can clean up those things and continue to rush the ball the way they have, well, it could be a different second half.
So South Dakota, 5 turnovers combined between those 2 teams. Certainly both coaches going to have something to say about that here at the half. Time of possession, Andre. NDSU nearly 17.5 minutes to 12.5 minutes for USD. That indicates the running game is working very effectively, as it usually does for NDSU, but credit to that USD defense for hanging in there. It's tough to not get worn down against the Bison, and they've given up some yards. They've only given up 10 points.
Exactly, and that's the key right there, Jay. You may give up the yards, kind of that bend but don't break mentality. You may give up the yards, but as long as you're not giving up the points and you're overcoming some of that wear down by having the juice that you get from creating turnovers, that's the key so far in this game for the Coyotes. And if they can maintain that in the second half, well, then we're in for a heck of a finish.
17-10 at the half here in Vermillion. We'll take a look around the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Other games going on in league play today. That's coming up next here on Midcoast Sports.
I've got that blue sky, I've got that sunshine.
Your first car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Then and down the road. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents.
Across the rural parts of our country, millions live hours away from advanced health care. But at Sanford Health, we believe world-class care belongs to every patient, everywhere. Because our patients are our friends, family, and neighbors. We're bringing quality care close to home, quality of life through better health. Not just for the future of our health, but for the health of our future. Here for all, here for good. Sanford Health.
I've got that blue sky, I've got that sunshine.
Coming up live this week on Midcoast Sports, plenty of coverage all week long, starting with South Dakota State visiting North Dakota in Summit League Volleyball on Tuesday night, with the Hawks hosting Kansas City on Thursday in Grand Forks. Then on Friday, a clash of Class 3A Titans as Sioux Falls Jefferson takes on Sioux Falls O'Gorman at Howard Wood Field. Visit midcoastsports.com for all the latest information.
Sure, if you build it, they will come, but will they be able to break par? We take you to a unique field of greens near Velva, North Dakota. We follow a sensational setter from Sioux Falls who has earned a spot on the U.S. national team as her game rises to an Olympic level. And South Dakota cattle ranchers partner up with South Dakota schools in a program designed to feed the nutritional needs of area athletes. Coming up September 26th on an all-new Midco Sports Magazine.
Halftime again here in Vermillion. South Dakota on top of top-ranked North Dakota State by a score of 17-10. But some other good games going on around the Missouri Valley Football Conference today. The biggest of those in Springfield, Missouri. Top 5 tussle between South Dakota State and Missouri State. 7-0, a second quarter score. Jacks on top of the Bears. Also second quarter, Southern Illinois trying to build off last week's win against Big Ten Northwestern. They're up on North Dakota 10-0. That also in the second quarter. One other game going on today, 3 o'clock to start in Macomb, as Northern Iowa and Western Illinois, one of those teams is going to get their first win of the season here this afternoon. I think some might not be shocked by that with Western Illinois, but UNI 0-3, that's different.
Yeah, exactly. I just that does shock me. They haven't really changed up anything, same coach. So it's kind of shocking to see them get off to such a slow start.
That's your Missouri Valley Football Conference scoreboard. Again, here at the half, 17-10, South Dakota on top of North Dakota State. Second half coverage coming up next here on Midco Sports.
The communication was unbelievable. Every step of the way, I felt like somebody was there for us to answer any questions that we had.
CU Mortgage Direct is here to assist you with your home buying experience.
We've done a few different mortgages in our lives, and it's honestly been the easiest process. The relationship side has been great. I can't think of another situation where we've had it in a way that felt so comfortable.
CU Mortgage Direct. Simple solutions, direct results.
So, you need a new vehicle. What's the best vehicle for you? Where do you get financing? What's your trade worth? Answer all these questions and more at BillionAuto.com. You can compare 16 new car brands and thousands of used vehicles all in one place. Once you've picked out that perfect vehicle, it's easy to apply for credit pre-approval. Plus, estimate the trade value of your vehicle in 2 easy steps. It's car buying made easy, and it's all in the palm of your hand at BillionAuto.com.
Hi, my name is Kendra Apps, and I'm a speech-language pathologist at a Right Care clinic in South Dakota. So growing up, I found out that I needed speech therapy myself. The speech-language pathologist that was with me really influenced me to become a speech-language pathologist myself. She was kind, she was caring. This job here at the Right Care clinic, I'm able to help young kids learn how to talk again, say their first words, help them with feeding difficulties. So I love the variety this job provides.
Varsity Sports Live is the place for more high school football. More highlights. More coverage. More reaction.
Yeah, we had that ready all week.
More fun. Don't miss out on the exciting gridiron action from North and South Dakota. Varsity Sports Live on Midco Sports and Midco Sports Plus every Friday night this season. You have a love for sports, and so do we. The Midco Sports Crew House brings live sports action coverage to viewers at home. From camera operators to sideline crew, audio technicians to timeout coordinators, on-the-job training for some positions is available. Plus, Crew House has flexible daytime, nighttime, or weekend hours if you're looking for the perfect side gig. Come work for our award-winning crew. Apply online at midco.com/careers. The South Dakota Showdown Series football game is live on Midco Sports this October 8th. Last season's game was an instant classic with an ending for the ages.
Almost gets it to the end zone, deflected up in the air. Caught, touchdown, South Dakota!
My God! Will the Jacks get revenge, or will the Yotes repeat? Tune in for the pregame show at 1:30 p.m. Central from Brookings on October 8th live on Midco Sports and streaming on Midco Sports Plus.
You are watching North Dakota State at South Dakota, presented by Agtegra. As we get set for the start of the third quarter, it's the Coyotes on top, 17-10 over the top-ranked team in the country. David Brown caught up with Matt Entz coming out of the locker room, and I'm sure he had some interesting things to say.
That he did, Jay. Obviously, as one might expect, Matt Entz not a happy camper at the end of the first half, allowing 14 points to USD in the final minute. Says quite simply, we are killing ourselves with the penalties and the turnovers. We obviously have to limit and button that up in the second half. He also says we need to come out with a big play to start the second half to get momentum back on our side.
right, thank you, David. And I mean, those are things that, you know, it doesn't take you being a head football coach to recognize. I mean, it was almost startling to watch. Now, there was a factor coming into this game that people were talking about, a storyline, if you will, Andre, and that was people wondering how NDSU was going to respond to a potential fatigue situation. Remember, they played at Arizona last Saturday night. That game didn't start until, I believe, 10 o'clock Central Time. So now you're getting back on a plane, and you're flying in extra late, and you're getting back at a really weird time. It just throws off your routine, and certainly it's not an excuse. Matt Entz would never make it, but I think it's a legitimate wonder as to how your team is going to respond, especially on a shorter week, coming back around and then playing a 1 o'clock kickoff less than a week later. So plus the trip on a bus to Vermilion.
And adding in the emotional factor, it was a close football game where they had an opportunity to win at the end. They didn't get it done, so you're kind of disappointed in that. So you couple all of those things together, and yeah, it could be. You know, they'll never tell us, they'll never admit to it, but it definitely could be a factor.
But I mean, the penalties, the 3 turnovers and a half. I wonder when the last time was that North Dakota State turned over the football 3 times in a half. But Ogamba boots it deep as NDSU will get the football first here to start the 3rd quarter. And I think if you're Cam Miller and the Bison, this is a chance to make a statement. Hey, we're fine. Long way to go here. If you march this football down the field in the way that you were moving it in the first half, when you weren't giving it away, I mean, you're gonna put USD on notice that, you know, we're not going anywhere. We're the defending national champs for a reason.
Yep, and Coach mentioned, you know, having to maybe hit a big play or get some type of a scoring drive early just to get the momentum back on their side. So you know that that's a big key for them, getting momentum. He said it. We want to get momentum, so they're looking to see what they can do with this drive.
Cam Miller off play action right away, going to Mathis. Pass is a little undershot. Mathis has to go to his knees to make the catch. And so while he does move the chains, a play that might have gone a little bit further, couldn't because he's down as soon as his knees hit down. But 3rd catch of the day now for Zach Mathis. 5 completions total for Cam Miller on the afternoon. He was 4 of 10 for 48 yards in the first half. This is a guy that has a completion percentage of 63% in his career, and USD was doing a good job bottling him up. Speaking of bottling him up, I don't know that you can bottle any one running back up for North Dakota State, but considering the night Hunter Lipke put forth against Arizona last week, I think you'll handle what he's been able to do here so far against you today if you're Bob Nielsen and the Coyotes.
Yeah, because usually what you're going to expect from him is, you know, a little hit here, boom, big play, right? And he hasn't had that yet. And with the rotation of the 5 different backs that they use, you know, he hasn't really been that big of a factor, to your point, so far in this contest.
That was the 6th carry of the afternoon for Lipke. Kobe Johnson back in there now. And they fake the handoff this time. Miller tries downfield. Looked like, I thought initially he was going to Stuffle the tight end. Instead, he gets it out to DJ Hart, who makes the catch, his first of the afternoon. And another first down for North Dakota State, out to the 49-yard line.
Decent coverage there, just a comeback route on the outside by Hart. Great throw by Cam to get it there before the defender can get his hands in there and try to disrupt it.
Coyotes run one on late with Micah Roan. I formation right up the middle. There's Lipke. Steamrolling forward. Caught up an official as well. As the umpire had nowhere to go on that one. Watch the U. Oh boy, This is a precarious position.
He luckily got out of there unscathed too. Good job.
You got to keep your head on a swivel when you're playing umpire, right?
He's got to shuffle out of there like a linebacker.
He's going to tell that story for years. His grandkids are going to hear about the time Hunter Lipke ran him over. Still adjusting the chains on the far side of the field. They whistle the ball in play now. 41-yard line. Direct snap goes to Johnson. We've seen this a few times. And a big hit there from Shorter, who's coming downhill from his safety spot with regularity here today. He's had a nice season thus far for Travis Johansson's defense.
I mean, the offensive line from the Bison do a good job of getting hat on hat. And so then you have to, if you have a running back or somebody with the ball, the only other defender that can probably help you is one of the safeties or an extra corner, etc. In this case, Shorter has filled the holes quite nicely to this point for that Yoke defense.
5th tackle of the afternoon for Dennis Shorter. Also had the forced fumble that set up the last touchdown before the half for South Dakota. Swing it out to Brozio, bounces off a tackler. And this guy every bit as big as Hunter Lipke, only a more traditional fullback. He makes the grab, his first catch of the season, 4th of his career, and it moves the sticks. 1st and 10 North Dakota State at the Coyote 22.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it looks like a lot of times when you're trying to tackle both him and Lipke, just bouncing off of people, just cotton balls throwing up against a brick wall. It's not going to work.
Pick up for 15 yards for Brozio. 5'11", 234-pound sophomore out of Lakeland, Florida. Interesting formation here, and again, they have more razzle-dazzle here. End around now for Raja Nelson. Oh, check that. Braylon Henderson on the carry this time for North Dakota State. So NDSU's gotten a little creative with a couple of their play calls here today. Coyotes have done a reasonably good job keeping those plays in front of them, though.
It's very interesting to think, you know, that they mentioned that they have to do something to create momentum. They're having success running the football, getting 6 yards a carry, but then they also feel the need to do a lot of these, like you said, misdirection, razzle-dazzle, reverse-type plays, seeing if they can maybe catch the Yotes off guard. And they haven't, but they're yet making progress toward that end zone.
Johnson stood up by Peyton Hillis. Couple of guys in there slowing him down. Earl Miller, along with Blake Holden, helped slow the Bison tailback down, and Hillis finished him off. It'll be 3rd and very short now for NDSU.
Here comes the big package where you see 3 big guys from the Bison come in, all the little receivers come out. Now, I would not be surprised, though, here, Jay, if everybody's expecting, you know, power football to get 1 yard, and they do something with that one-man route up top.
Rolling it off, Miller, 5, touchdown, North Dakota State. That is the statement the Bison needed to open this second half.
And they did it the way the Bison do. They just marched down the field. Yes, they had a couple reverses in there, some trickeration going on, but really it was still running plays. They just marched themselves down the field, little reverse action. You open up away from the strength, you come back to where the double tight ends are, the hole is wide open, and all Cam Miller has to do is hold on to the football and run it in.
So Griffin Crosa on for the extra point to try and tie this game at 17 apiece, which he does. And NDSU in less than 5 minutes marches 75 yards. Cam Miller capping it off on a 13-yard touchdown run on 3rd and short. And we're tied at 17.
I've got that blue sky, I've got that sunshine.
Living with less pain means living at your best. But an action-packed life can wear your body down. Avera Orthopedics keeps you moving with total joint replacements for pain you don't have to live with. Find relief with the region's largest orthopedic physician team of specialized surgeons so you can keep moving forward. Avera, moving health forward.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
I've got that blue sky, I've got that sunshine.
Coming back on our Sanford Orthopedic Sports Medicine Injury Report, getting a look at Austin Geary, the senior tight end for South Dakota, has been a big part of this offense all throughout his career. One of the toughest guys on this team, but he's had a shoulder issue that they've been trying to figure out. He didn't play last week against Cal Poly. He's not playing, obviously, again today. They go into the bye. I'm sure the hope is to maybe get him back for the second half of the season, but no guarantees. Timetable uncertain for Austin Geary right now. And meanwhile, lots of guys getting beat up, as tends to happen on Saturday afternoons. Nash Jensen, by the way, the All-American guard for North Dakota State, left this game in the first quarter with an ankle or with a lower leg injury. I guess I shouldn't say ankle, don't know that, but has not returned, number 66. It's a big void on the left side of that line. Granted, NDSU's got a lot of guys they can plug and play, but Nash Jensen, anytime you're going without him, that's not a great spot to be in if you're Matt Entz and the Bison. Elidor trying to make a play in the return game now, and he's ridden out of bounds out across the 20-yard line. So NDSU did what we said was so important for them, Andre. Come out, make a statement on your opening possession of the third quarter. I think it flips the script now, and South Dakota's got that same opportunity.
Yep.
You battled this team, the reigning national champions. You were up 7 at half. How are you going to respond now that they've tied this game so quickly?
Exactly. You know, your offense has to come out and again move the chains and show that you can threaten offensively against this really the up front 7 of that Bison defense.
Coyotes ran 32 plays in the first half. It was 17-15. Run to pass. They start on the ground with Tice, who's had a good day aside from that fumble. Responded to that by getting into the end zone with the first of those 2 late second quarter touchdowns. And Tice, on his 9th carry of the afternoon, is now up to 57 yards on the afternoon. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry. You talk about the Bison and what they've been able to do per touch. South Dakota, you've got Tice at 6.3 per carry. Carson Camp has carried 6 times, averages 7.7. Now that's your quarterback. You don't want to continue that if you can avoid it, especially against a physical team like North Dakota State, but you'll take the numbers.
Absolutely.
Empty backfield here, 2nd and 3 from the 30. Camp on the draw, they go right back to him, and he dives forward, first down at the 35.
And the draw, they've only really run an actual draw play twice, but they've run it with success. So they think if they can spread these guys out and kind of fan out the D-line, that they can find a little bit of space in the middle. And they've been able to do that a couple times here today.
South Dakota, remember, the first quarter used all 3 of its timeouts for the first half. So it'll be interesting to see if any of those communication issues have been resolved here as we get into the third quarter now. Approaching the 9-minute mark. Quick shot to Tice, and Camp a little antsy on that one. Maybe didn't set himself the way he needed to.
Tried to lead him a little bit and led him just a little bit too far, as Tice was still kind of bubbling east and west and couldn't get his hands on it enough to make the catch.
Direction coming in from head coach Bob Nielsen. Remember, he's an offensive guy, spent a lot of time working with quarterbacks, offenses, but hadn't called, in terms of play calling, a football game since he was at Minnesota Duluth prior to last week's game against Cal Poly. 2 weeks in, and he goes to Tice here, who gets about 6 yards. And again, that average continues.
There you go.
Which, I mean, North Dakota State is not a team traditionally that gives up a lot on the ground, Andre, but the Coyotes have found something there today. They're having a lot of success that way.
And I think, again, they're doing a good job getting pressure on the edges, but maybe that middle is a little bit soft.
Oh, now Tice drops it. Tried to set up that perimeter screen that time, and last time Camp misfires. This one, it was right on the numbers. Tice tried to run before he caught it.
Exactly. He saw that, he only needed 3 or 4 yards. He probably thought, well, I can get more than that, but you got to catch it first.
So South Dakota moves the football, gets a couple of first downs, but now they'll punt it away. And this guy's a game changer back here in the punt return game. Jaden Price standing back at his own 21-yard line. John Bickle to punt it away. No pressure this time from NDSU. Great hang time here for Bickle. leads to a fair catch signal from Price, which he gets at the 16-yard line. But NDSU coming back out now after trailing by 7 at the half. Bison a chance on this possession to get the lead when we come back.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
Across the rural parts of our country, millions live hours away from advanced health care. But at Sanford Health, we believe world-class care belongs to every patient, everywhere. Because our patients are our friends, family, and neighbors. We're bringing quality care close to home, quality of life through better health. Not just for the future of our health, but for the health of our future. Here for all, here for good. Sanford Health.
The communication was unbelievable. Every step of the way, I felt like somebody was there for us to answer any questions that we had.
CU Mortgage Direct is here to assist you with your home buying experience.
We've done a few different mortgages in our lives, and it's honestly been the easiest process. The relationship side has been great. I can't think of another situation where we've had it in a way that felt so comfortable.
CU Mortgage Direct. Simple solutions, direct results.
This game on Midco Sports is presented by Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
Back to the Dakota Dome, 8:27 to go, third quarter, 17-all between number 1 North Dakota State and South Dakota. Bison marched it right down the field on their opening possession of the third quarter to tie it up at 17. And then the defense stepped up to get a stop. A lot of those issues that Matt Entz wanted to address at halftime looked pretty good. I mean, execution was there, discipline was there, and the Bison end up in the end zone. Then their defense comes out, gets a stop, and now Cam Miller and company a chance to get the lead. If they can put a drive together here, their start 1st and 10 from their own 16. Mathis was not ready for that one. Shahid Barros in coverage that time. And it looked like the quarterback wanted to go back shoulder, and they weren't on the same page.
Nope, that's exactly what it looked like. Not understanding which route they were going to run. Maybe he had a choice route there where he could take off or back, hitch it up. But either way, they weren't on the same page.
Kobe Johnson, the single setback here on 2nd and 10 from the 16-yard line. Brozio, the fullback, motions to the right side of the formation. They'll go left side with Johnson. Cuts back inside. Great cut it was. Takes a big hit from Earl Miller, but he almost got enough for the first down to the 25-yard line. Great run there from Kobe Johnson, who's had a solid day despite just 10 carries.
Taking advantage of the flow. USD's defense starts to flow really hard that way, thinking they got to get there right now. And Kobe Johnson just puts his foot in the ground, cuts back to the open space, and almost picks up a first down.
Johnson,
keeping that average alive.
5'9", 188-pound junior from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Pitch goes to Lipke. Takes a shot from Barros from the blind side, but he's got the first down and then some. All the way out to the 33-yard line.
This is your typical Bison drive. Just let's off tackle, come back to the middle of the field, keep you guessing, but also keep pounding on you.
8-yard pickup that time for Lipke. 8 carries, 48 yards. For the senior from Spencer, Wisconsin. Now 3rd different guy in as many plays. Tamarick Williams with his first touch of the afternoon, and he's just shy of midfield.
And the guys up front don't rotate a lot, but the back end guys do. And you're always keeping a fresh back in there whose legs are ready to go. And right now you can see that the Coyote defense, which hasn't substituted a lot, is starting to give up some of those big plays in the middle of the field. The holes in the middle are starting to open up pretty wide for that Bison offense.
So Lipke back in there now. Again, 3 carries the last 3 plays by 3 different running backs, and it's a couple of first downs later, and NDSU is right about midfield. Back to Lipke now. He stood up. Stills manages to fall forward for a gain of 5. That's it, Andre. I mean, you can do everything right. You can hit him right at the line of scrimmage. And coaches always say if you're a running back, you want to fall forward.
Yep.
Well, when you get 245 pounds leaning forward, you're bound to pick up a couple.
Definitely. I mean, if nothing else, 1-2 yards, right? And so if you've already ran for 2 or 3, there you go, 5-yard average.
Coyotes, a little trouble deciding what personnel they wanted on the field there. They get settled. Mike Arone stays out there at the defensive end spot. 2nd and 5 from the USD 47. Play action. Miller looking to the edge. And DJ Hart makes the catch. Jaheed Barros right there in coverage, Andre, but it's a first down for North Dakota State.
Thought maybe he had a play on this ball because he broke right at the same time that Cam was releasing the football. But good job right there of Hart reaching up and high pointing it almost. Didn't have to jump, but he just extends his arms out to make the catch. Keeps it away from the defender and gets the first down.
I think it's a well-placed ball by Miller too. I don't think Barros was going to be able to get that. Maybe knock it away, but I don't think he was going to be able to pick it. Miller wants the big play. Looking over the top, there's Braylon Henderson makes the catch.
Shorter.
And just like that, NDSU is into the red zone.
And Shorter saw it and tried to get back underneath this, but he was just a step too short. He has underneath coverage. It's a crossing route from the top of the screen. He tried to get back, but the ball was placed perfectly over his head, and he couldn't make a play on it.
So 1st and 10, as we get another look at that from the down angle. Henderson hauls it in. Stays in bounds. Now Lipke bowling toward the end zone. Hunter Lipke all the way down to the 2. 1st and goal, North Dakota State. 17-yard gain for Lipke. And the Bison are in business again. Trying to hustle substitutions on and off the field. They're not going to get them all off. And a flag does come in. They were late as the guys up front didn't throw the flag there, Andre. I think they were too worried about the goal line, maybe. But you see 3 flags come in from the furthest officials away from the play, as South Dakota had 2 guys not get off the field in time.
It was a touchdown. 12 on defense. That penalty is declined.
And Lipke actually ended up in the end zone despite all that. And it goes as a 2-yard touchdown. North Dakota State is on front. Back-to-back scoring drives to start the 3rd quarter. And Matt Entz's team quickly finds itself back in front.
And doing it the way they wanted to. Come out, establish themselves up front by pounding the rock, using a couple play-action plays, short passes when they need to. But more importantly, no penalties, no turnovers, and now you have the lead.
5th rushing touchdown of the season for Hunter Lipke, and North Dakota State is on top, 24-17, less than 5.5 to play 3rd quarter.
Your first car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Then and down the road. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents.
So, you need a new vehicle. What's the best vehicle for you? Where do you get financing? What's your trade worth? Answer all these questions and more at BillionAuto.com. You can compare 16 new car brands and thousands of used vehicles all in one place. Once you've picked out that perfect vehicle, it's easy to apply for credit pre-approval. Plus, estimate the trade value of your vehicle in 2 easy steps. It's car buying made easy, and it's all in the palm of your hand at BillionAuto.com.
Decorative towel.
There was a mess. I wiped up a mess.
Yeah, you. Where is the box? Never mind, I found it.
With the block, and a touchdown. Welcome back, football fans. We'll see you in the fridge.
This game on Midco Sports is presented by CU Mortgage Direct, where local servicing is available.
Thunder made the trip to Vermillion today for the Valley opener. And the Bison, impressive start to this third quarter, Andre, after I think what most would agree was a less than North Dakota State worthy first half, in which they found themselves down at the break 17-10. But Cam Miller has engineered back-to-back scoring drives. You know, they've done a lot of it on the ground, but again, they've set it all up with that running game. And then Miller has been very effective through the air on the few times they've asked him to throw it. And just like that, NDSU is in front by 7.
Yeah, and the defense for NDSU is, 3 and out. The Coyotes in their first possession here. The Coyotes are going to have to string together a few first downs to get right back into this game.
Wes Elidor lets that one sail over his head for a touchback. And so Carson Camp and company will come out, start this drive at their own 25. Coyotes did pick up a couple of first downs on their last drive before stalling out a little shy of midfield. But we thought it was a chance for them to respond to that opening touchdown of the third quarter from North Dakota State. They weren't able to do it there, Andre. Now it might even be more important because NDSU has seized all of the momentum here in this third quarter.
Yeah, and in that last drive, you had Tice drop a couple passes that probably would have led to a couple first downs. So those are just execution issues that the Coyotes have to kind of clean up here as they get ready to start their second possession of this half.
Camp will keep it, and then has to wisely go down to the turf there as he saw there was nothing there for him. And James Kaiser, Julian Wadarsik in on the stop for North Dakota State as Camp tries to take it on the zone read.
Yeah, they were all over that one. There was a whole lot of white jerseys and yellow helmets around the ball on that play.
Empty backfield for Camp, trying to set it up for Tice, and NDSU just running, steamrolling downhill on everything. They're recognizing what's coming immediately here off the snap.
Yeah, and Luke Wirtz did not make this play, but he recognized it right away and got some penetration on it and actually disrupted it just enough for the rest of the group to come off. And now he comes off with looks like maybe a dislocated finger or something.
So 3rd and 12 here. Coyotes have not taken a lot of time off the clock here. And with the way NDSU's offense is rolling right now, you'd like to try to keep that defense off the field as long as possible, but they're not going to get that luxury as Camp is dropped for the second time today. Jake Cava, the defensive end, in for his first full sack of the season, and the Coyotes will have to punt it from deep in their own end.
So you don't get anything on first down because you try to do some type of running play with Camp. It was 8 up. Now you have to come back and try to throw the football because you're trying to get those yards back. And the Bison defense just pinned their ears back and created pressure. Nobody to throw it to. Coverage on the backside was good. And now you're punting from your own end zone, and they're going to have great field position at midfield.
That looked like an opportunity there for a return from Jaden Price, but he calls for a fair catch. It will be a short field for Cam Miller and the Bison. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line with 3:30 to go in the third quarter.
And again, I just expect Coach Ince he's telling this group right now, I'm sure, hey, this is us. As long as you execute and don't put the ball on the ground, we'll be fine. Just continue to do what we do. And those big guys up front, they'll heed that message. They'll start road grading.
Heavy dose of that Bison ground game to start the third quarter. They go right back to it with Kobe Johnson. Coyotes equal to the task this time. And Miles Harden is in on the stop. He has had another great day. Harden forced a fumble, has an interception. You take a look at this. I mean, spreading the wealth. We talked about it earlier, Andre. 5 different guys help carry the load here again today. Last year they had 9 different people carry the football in the game against South Dakota. Some of those were receivers, but still. Johnson trying to find some room, and there's none there. Good start to this possession for South Dakota. Stephen Hillis is slow to get up. Remember, he's working with a shoulder injury, but trying to tough it out. He got the full bill of health from the Coyotes medical staff yesterday and was able to go. And it's a game he really wanted to play in, and he's played well, just as he has all fall.
Yeah, 2 grip plays by the Coyote front 7 of getting pressure into the backfield and getting tackles for loss or short gains. Now you set the Bison up in a passing situation. See if you can get some pressure here, maybe force a quick throw.
3rd and 9, ball spotted at the 50. Miller incomplete, looking for DJ Hart, and the Coyotes hold defensively. Big stop there for the defense.
It was huge because, you know, if they allow the Bison to go down and get another score here, it's over. The momentum then at that point takes over, and it starts to creep into your psyche. So for them to get off the field, force a punt, get the offense back out there, give them another chance. This was a huge series for the Coyotes in this game.
So just the 2nd time today that Caden Steindorf trots out onto the field for North Dakota State. Carter Bell standing back at his own 10-yard line for South Dakota. Nice high kick, but it's going to go all the way to the end zone. Looked like it landed on the goal line. And the Bison shovel it out. They do wave off the touchback, or they do wave the touchback there. It looked like they weren't sure at first.
It was. He kind of like hesitated, and then you could see the referee show like, oh, your foot was in the end zone when you touched it, so it's over.
Oh yeah, both feet in the end zone with the football across the goal line. So got it right there, and South Dakota will bring it out to the 20-yard line to start. 1:55 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Now, it'd be interesting to see here. They were forced to kind of be into a lot of passing situations last series. Shamari Lawrence, now it's his turn. Tyson's on the sideline. Be interesting to see what type of play calling Coach Nielsen comes up with for this series.
Right up the middle. Haven't seen much from Shamari Lawrence today. It almost got the edge, and you see the frustration there. If he would have been able to get away from the defender that time, who was Marquise Siegel, there was potential for a big play around the edge for Shamari Lawrence.
Yeah, there was, and Siegel was just able to run him down. It's a nice little track meet right there to see who could get to the edge first.
Still a pickup of about 4 yards, so 2nd and 6 coming up here for the Coyotes. Again, they go back to Lawrence. This time met right in the hole. Rumbles off it and manages to get 3. He did well to do that because Tony Pierce stood him up right at the point of attack there, Andre. And now a man slow to get up for North Dakota State. That's Will Mostart. 6'2", 260-pound junior out of Lakeville, Minnesota. Kind of motioning toward his shoulder there. And now Mostart's twin brother, Eli, suffered a broken leg earlier this year. And Eli, that's a big loss for this NDSU defense. But now his brother ailing a bit after that last play.
Yeah, he was the one that delivered that initial shot to Lawrence in the backfield. And I think he probably took the worst of it, maybe with a stinger, which is basically just when you hit a nerve. It sends a shockwave down your arm.
It's an uncomfortable feeling, isn't it?
It kind of burns the arm. He feels a little bit limp for a while. Then it starts to come back.
So 3rd and 3 here. Ball spotted at the 27. South Dakota on 3rd down so far. 1 of 8 on the day. Empty backfield for Camp. 3 wide receivers to his right. Looking over the top for Bell, and he missed him by just a couple of yards. And South Dakota is going to have to punt it again. 3rd straight time to start this 2nd half.
Yeah, man coverage. They only rushed 4. The offensive line gave Carson Camp a good pocket. Carter Bell did have a step on his man, but Camp wasn't able to put the ball quite enough in the window. Led him just a little too far for that completion to happen.
So still a decent chance at some good field position here for NDSU. See, Jaden Price gets a chance to return one here. Great punt from Bickle, and he will not. He drives him back about 10 yards. He makes the fair catch at about the 21.5-yard line. And so North Dakota State will take over from there. Great kick to flip the field from John Bickle that time.
It was. I assumed, after the last one when Price waved it off when he had space and then was mad at himself for doing it, I figured his psyche was, well, I'm catching this one anyway, right? But then the kick was so good that he was forced to call a fair catch. So right now I know he's just chomping at the bit to actually return a kick on one of these punts.
He's a guy that has a punt return for a touchdown this year against Drake already. Leads all of FCS in punt return average at 21.2. But the Coyotes have managed to bottle him up here today. He's not been able to try and run one back. I think he tried once and he was stuffed
got caught.
Right at the point of where he caught it. NDSU continues to just pound that rock, try to wear down that South Dakota defense, which has been on the field a lot here today, but particularly in this third quarter as the Bison have completely controlled this frame.
And the USD front seven doesn't rotate much, so.
Oh, Miller got it away just in time, and it falls incomplete. Pressure coming that time from a couple of different Coyotes.
Great coverage in the secondary. Really nowhere for him to throw this ball to. He just gives his guys a chance here by throwing it up, but really the coverage was solid.
Michael Scott, Dominic Caggiano, both there to put the pressure on Miller. And another third down coming up. Clock was stopped with 12 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 3rd and 2 for North Dakota State from their own 30-yard line. Move Brosio over Hunter Lipke, the single setback. He'll get it here. First down and then some to the 35-yard line. That'll stop the clock briefly, but very well could be our final play of the third quarter, and it will be. And we are 45 minutes in. 14-0 the score in that quarter in favor of North Dakota State. The Bison erase a 7-point halftime deficit, lead it by 7 as we head to the final frame here in Vermillion. 24-17 on your Integra scoreboard.
Living with less pain means living at your best. But an action-packed life can wear your body down. Avera Orthopedics keeps you moving with total joint replacements for pain you don't have to live with. Find relief with the region's largest orthopedic physician team of specialized surgeons so you can keep moving forward. Avera, moving health forward.
Welcome back to the show. Tom and Gina have just finished the hunt for their new home, deciding on a custom home from Nielsen Construction. Tom appreciated choosing the layout and budget that worked best for them, while Gina loved being able to customize aspects of the home, giving it their personal touch. Whether you're seeking a starter home or your forever home, the outstanding quality and wide variety of floor plans for every budget, a home from Nielsen Construction is just what you're hunting for. Give them a call today.
Dakota State University is breaking through barriers, and breaking through perceptions about what a South Dakota school can do. Our students aren't posing on the campus green. They're in class, in the lab, and out in the world, doing real work and solving real problems. Discover a school reinventing higher education, one degree at a time. Dakota State University.
Stony Brook Suites is an assisted living that's 21 years old. I wanted something that was exciting for this generation to experience. We've been with American Bank and Trust. They know our business. It really is a relationship, a true relationship. A bank that cares about you. AB&T has been all that and more for me.
At American Bank and Trust, relationships are everything. Make the move today to choose your change at abt.bank.
Brett Young Live. Saturday, October 15th at the Shields Arena. ACM Award winner, Brett Young. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or the Shields Arena box office. Don't miss Brett Young Live.
Welcome back to Vermillion. 24-17, North Dakota State with the lead over South Dakota as we enter the fourth quarter. Well, last week was a rare loss for the Bison, even if it was to an FBS school in Arizona, but it was also uncharacteristic from a defensive standpoint. It was only the fourth time in the last 5 seasons that NDSU has given up more than 30 points in a game. And this is a Bison team that has led the Missouri Valley in fewest points allowed each of the last 4 full seasons. Head coach Matt Enns earlier this week lamenting the lack of third down stops and giving up explosive plays. So far in this game, USD just 1 of 9 on third down, and both their touchdowns came on short field, so it seems that the defensive side of it has been shored up at least for this ball game.
Their offense out on the field here, facing 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line, and the Coyotes ride Kobe Johnson all the way over to the sideline. It's officially maybe a loss of about a half yard on that play, but just to add to what David said there, Andre, I mean, if Matt Enns has to be, he's not going to be pleased because he's going to go back and watch the tape of that first half, but he has to be extremely pleased with the way his team came out of the locker room in that third quarter. They completely dominated that 15 minutes of play.
Agreed. That's the most important quarter, especially when you coming off of a half where you've made a lot of mistakes that have put you at a deficit. So for them to respond to him the way they have is something that he's definitely going to be happy about when he starts watching film next week.
So 3rd and 6 coming up. The clock continues to wind. Time becoming precious for South Dakota. Obviously, NDSU wants to take as much of that away as possible and get in the end zone on this drive and give themselves a 2-score lead, something they have not had at any point today. Play action here. Miller looking for his tight end, Stuffle. He's got him, and he's got a first down, got just enough, a yard extra to the 46-yard line. Stuffle's been pretty active in the passing game today.
He really has. I mean, we've called his name on several occasions. They've looked into him. Haven't seen much of Noah Gendorf today, which is their starting tight end. So Stuffle stepped up and really taken on that role, and he's played well.
Merrick Williams in there at running back now. Gets the carry, just his 2nd of the day, and he gets a couple. South Dakota has, they have limited the explosive plays on the ground. That was one thing that stood out last week in their game against Cal Poly, Andre. Offensively, explosive plays, yes, because they scored 4 touchdowns of 40 yards or more, but defensively, they got gashed several times. It's something that they hadn't done against Kansas State and Montana the previous 2 weeks. So that was a little troublesome for Bob Nielsen, Travis Johansson, the rest of that defensive staff. They've done much better in that way. NDSU hasn't broken the big one a whole lot here today, at least as of yet.
I agree. They've forced NDSU to earn it, which is what you want. They haven't really had any, to your point, really big explosive plays, and that's what you really want out of your defense, is to force the offenses to grind it out. Hopefully they make some mistakes. That's exactly what happened in the first half, but hasn't happened here in the second half, and the Bison are using that, grind it out, don't make a mistake play to control this lead, or at least hold on to it at the moment.
In fact, 23 yards is the longest play allowed today, or longest play hit for North Dakota State to this point. Against this team with a pedigree that they have, that's something to build on here. Not only today, but going forward as they give it off to Lipke. Rolls through forward, and now Harden trying to rip that football away. Good luck against Hunter Lipke as he tumbles all the way down to the 33-yard line. Another first down on third down for NDSU. They're 7 of 11 for the ball game.
And they do a good job of getting the momentum and the flow of the offense and defense going in one direction and then finding the cutback lane. Hunter just puts his foot in the ground. We saw Kobe Johnson with a big run to do that. We saw the touchdown run they had in the first half was a similar type play. They get you going one way. They wait for the cutback lane to open up, hit it, and get that average.
Michael Scott, by the way, the rush defensive end for South Dakota, is the man walking slowly to the Coyote sideline. Been a little dinged up ever since fall camp, but he's fought through it and played very well. The transfer from Akron. Team high 3 sacks coming into the day to Merrick Williams. Up the middle. He's got about 7.
Yeah, and here you go, rotating in backs. You see one set of backs and fullbacks come out. Another set of backs and fullbacks come in. They're keeping those guys fresh. And that keeps the Coyote defense guessing. And right now, you may be starting to see a little bit of that wear and tear setting in for the Yote defense.
Third time NDSU has had the ball in this second half. They scored touchdowns on each of the previous 2 drives. Give it off to Lipke, turns it upfield. Lipke brought down from behind by Nick Gaze, but he gets all the way down to the 25-yard, or the 15-yard line rather, a pickup of 12.
And he's in his fullback spot. You have a tailback deep. And as you turn around, you give it off to him, hoping to kind of sneak him up to the line of scrimmage right away. And again, uses that cutback lane to pick up extra yards.
And now Lipke up over 100 yards for the second straight week. 15 carries, 109 yards, and a touchdown. As long as 17, but his average is 7.3 per touch. Dominic Ganella, who fumbled in the second quarter, setting up that second touchdown late in the first half for South Dakota, gets it this time. That's, I think, the first carry we've seen from him since that fumble. He's down to the 11. It'll be second down from there.
Time of possession starting to really favor the Bison offense. Almost 28 minutes as opposed to only, I think, 16.
Under 18 for South Dakota to this point, yes. Ganella hops over the line, but he stood up there. Got a couple. Just over the 10-yard line. Bison can get a first down at the South Dakota 6. On another third down. They have been perfect on this drive and almost perfect really most of the day. 7 of 11 to this point compared to 1 of 9 from South Dakota. You look back in retrospect later, where did you lose the football game? Where did you win it? Third down.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Under center, Miller tosses it back to Lipke, lowers the shoulder, and he's short of the first down. I don't think there's probably much question here. Oh, maybe there is a little bit of a question. I assume Matt Etz was going to go for that, but he was going to take the 2-score, or try to take the easy way to a 2-score lead here, and he sends Griffin Crosa and the field goal team out on the field. Crosa had not attempted a field goal this year coming into the day. Will Cardinal had tried the only 2 previous ones for NDSU, missed them both. So Crosa, who's been a successful kicker in his career at NDSU, got the call today, and he has answered it well as he knocks it through. Second field goal of the afternoon, and the Bison, for the first time today, have a 2-score advantage at 27-10 with 8:27 to play in the fourth quarter. 27-17 rather. Bison on top in Vermilion.
Professor Penny.
I need to take a 4-cheese quesadilla back to my lab.
I got you, girl.
It is mathematically impossible to fit 4 cheeses inside. Better get 2 for research purposes.
The new 4-cheese quesadilla at Taco John's.
How can you protect your institution's financial security if your business network is vulnerable? Is there a solution? The answer is yes. 50,000 times yes. With SDN's 50,000 miles of managed network solutions on the region's most reliable broadband network for business. SDN Communications. Enjoy the uptime.
Nyberg's Ace is your home renovation place with everything you need to revitalize your space. Helpful is what Nyberg's Ace is all about. Our specially trained staff can help you choose from a huge variety of Benjamin Moore paint to enhance every room in your house, or help you get just the right customized color for your home. Nyberg's Ace has all the right tools for your painting needs from start to finish.
Find value at Nyberg's Ace with our helpful staff, saving you time at our 5 convenient locations.
Professor Penny. I need to take a 4-cheese quesadilla back to my lab. I got you, girl. It is mathematically impossible to fit 4 cheeses inside. Better get 2 for research purposes.
The new 4-cheese quesadilla at Taco John's.
(27-17) your score. 8:27 to go here in the Valley opener for North Dakota State and South Dakota, which is presented by Ag Tegra this afternoon. But the Bison trailed 17-10 at the half, but have outscored South Dakota 17-0 in the second half. The latest points coming off the leg of Griffin Crosa on a 25-yard field goal, his second of the afternoon. First time today, though, that NDSU has led this game by 2 scores. 10-3 in the second quarter before USD put together back-to-back scoring drives. Matter of fact, scored 2 touchdowns in a span of 14 seconds to close the first half and get that 17-10 lead at the break. Here's Wes Elidor, capable of making something big happen, and he almost does it as he gets it all the way out to the 35-yard line. So Carson Camp and the Coyotes will come out, start it from there when we come back. Bison by 10, 8:20 to go.
I really didn't feel like our bank was watching out for our best interests and our business's needs, and we knew it was time for a change. AB&T is different. I would say that they exceed all expectations.
You can't control everything in business, but when it comes to banks, you're in charge.
I know AB&T is going to have our back.
Make the move today to American Bank and Trust. Choose your change at abt.bank.
100 years ago, our founders set out to answer the question, what if women had a place to realize their full potential? And since then, we haven't stopped asking questions. On September 28th, let's celebrate a century of questions and our community's courageous answers. Join us for the celebration of a century at the Washington Pavilion. Together, we'll not only inspire courage, we'll cultivate it.
Traveling wild and I don't know why. I can't contain whatever's burning inside. I gotta find a way to figure it out. I found the answers and there ain't no doubt. Got what I'm looking for. Got what I'm looking for. Got what I'm looking for.
This game on Midco Sports is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the exclusive orthopedic and sports medicine provider of the Coyotes.
All right, crunch time now for South Dakota. They find themselves down 10 with 8:20 to go. Important possession here for Carson Camp and that offense, which has not done much of anything since the half. They put together those 2 late second quarter touchdown drives, both of them benefiting from NDSU turnovers, but they capitalized on those. Since then, it's been tough sledding for this Coyote offense. But it's go time now. You got to make something happen. Shamari Lawrence willing to do his part, and he rumbles down inside the 40 all the way to the 35 of North Dakota State. It's a pickup of 40 yards.
That's the way to do it. You need big chunk plays because you now need 2 scores. Yes, you can put some pressure on them, but you got to get into the end zone. And the best way to do that is to pick up chunk yardage that doesn't take very much time off the clock.
Check that 30-yard gain for Shamari Lawrence, his longest run of the season to this point. Play action now. Camp up in the pocket. Looking for something, has a man down there. Wes Elidor, though, was double covered, and I think Carson Camp just lived to play another down, threw it out of bounds.
Had to. It was nowhere to go with the football. Great coverage in the secondary there. Even with the scramble, the coverage was outstanding. All you can do is throw it out of bounds, line up for the next play.
So 2nd and 10, team still certainly in business here. And at the very least, if you're USD, you want to get a field goal out of this possession to get that back to a 1-score difference on the scoreboard. So you got to get something more here. This would be an awfully long attempt for Eddie Ogamba. Play clock at 3 for Camp. Sends Lawrence in motion late. And then goes with the quarterback draw. Lost the football. NDSU picks it up with Dom Jones. And he's brought down from behind by Alex Jensen. But Jones, the fumble recovery late, and that's a killer turnover for South Dakota.
I mean, you mentioned they had to get points out of this drive, especially the way the Bison have controlled the clock offensively. It looks like audibles to a draw, but great job of that man. Mama, there goes Dawson Weber, making another play again, coming up and popping that football out of Carson Camp's hands. Dawson Weber's been all over the field today, making big play after big play defensively for the Bison. And none other than that one right there in this moment. Huge opportunity now for North Dakota State to either just put this thing away with points or salt it away with a big drive.
At the very least, just take a whole bunch of time off and eliminate any possibility of a comeback for South Dakota. Third turnover of the day for USD. They had the fumble from Travis Tice. The interception that Camp threw in the first half was picked off by Luke Wirtz. And now Camp coughs up the football. Both teams have turned it over 3 times in the game, but NDSU, all of theirs came in the first half. They've cleaned all of that up here since the break and have executed at a much higher level. They've stayed disciplined. Not a lot of laundry on the field in this second half. And more importantly, they've gotten points on the scoreboard. Scoring on all 3 of their second half possessions. This is number 4. They toss it back to Lipke. Cuts it back inside. Now Lipke brought down from behind, but another big pickup all the way down to the 20-yard line. It's 19 yards on the play. And Cam Tisdale, the corner who got to him to try and slow him down, is slow to get up. We'll step away. 6:42 to go in the fourth quarter as they tend to Cam Tisdale down on the field.
Navigating a mortgage can be scary. So when people tell me I want to buy a house, I start asking questions. I educate, I guide, and I help realize their dream of homeownership. I never want someone to buy a house and then realize they can't afford it. Each customer is unique. I'm here because it's not just about the loan, it's about relationships. My name is Terry Foster. I'm a mortgage banker here at the First National Bank in Sioux Falls, where we value relationships.
I'm so happy I moved to Trail Ridge when I did. We have newly renovated and spacious apartments, delicious restaurant-style dining, professional fitness programs, and wellness center. I love our warm water pools. I'm often spending time in the courtyard with all my friends, and the location couldn't be better. Schedule a tour and see what all the fun is about. It's your time and your life. Enjoy it with us at Trail Ridge Senior Living Community.
Hi, my name is Kendra Apps, and I'm a speech-language pathologist at a Right Care clinic in South Dakota. So growing up, I found out that I needed speech therapy myself. The speech-language pathologist that was with me really influenced me to become a speech-language pathologist myself. She was kind, she was caring. This job here at the Right Care clinic, I'm able to help young kids learn how to talk again, say their first words, help them with feeding difficulties. So I love the variety this job provides.
Cam Tisdale making his way over to the bench on the far side for South Dakota. Senior corner, Clearwater, Florida. Playing in place the last 2 weeks of Dayron McKinney, who's been out with a groin issue. Kyle certainly hoping to get McKinney back after the bye for that big game against South Dakota State, which is coming up here on Midco Sports on October the 8th.
Good sign is they look like they were touching around on his ankle, so hopefully, you know, ankles could be a bad thing too. They could last forever, but at least it wasn't, you know, something worse.
Him being able to walk off under his own power, largely under his own power, was a big key there. So hopefully Cam Tisdale is okay going forward. But the Kyle's getting a little thin at the corner spot there. And now the clock starts, and Cam Miller calls him back off the line. Let's huddle it up now.
Yeah, and you know, last play he salted it down to the very last second before snapping. So they are very consciously running clock.
And again, a 10-point game. 27-17 here. NDSU try to put the finishing touches on this one, and you would have to think a touchdown, maybe even a field goal would do just that for them. Under 6 minutes to play now. Well, this is an interesting, in terms of the break. USD goes into the bye next week, gets a week off before heading into that big game in Brookings against South Dakota State, but no break for the Bison. In fact, this is the first time since 2010 that NDSU went straight from non-conference play to MVFC
I thought
play.
That was interesting.
And they don't actually get their bye until after their game against SDSU, which is coming up the week after SDSU plays USD. So they play SDSU on October the 15th in Fargo, then they get their break. So coaches love those bye weeks, Andre, especially when you're playing the physical brand of football that NDSU likes to play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Valley football, like, for that matter, any bye week in there is a blessing because you allow some time for healing.
Dominic Ganella dropped behind the line. Michael Scott, good to see him back out there. Remember, he went off on the last possession for North Dakota State a little gingerly, but he continues to fight through it, and he makes another play behind the line of scrimmage. Came into the day 4th in tackles on this Coyote team, leading the team in sacks. Hasn't gotten to the quarterback, although he's pressured Miller a couple of times today. And they pitch it back to Lipke. Again, bounces off a tackle, and Hillis was there along with Dennis Shorter. And Shorter came through, had a chance to finish that off, Andre, and he just dropped the shoulder and bounced right off like he wasn't there.
Not going to happen versus Hunter Lipke. You have to wrap up. Kids, wrap up, grab cloth. Just running into that man is just like running into a brick wall. It is not going to work for you.
Yeah, because Hillis did enough to stop that play short of the first down. And if Shorter does that, and he's coming off the field now, I wonder if that's going to be addressed.
Yeah. Yep, it looks like that's what they're saying. I can see the body language of the coach.
Yeah, Miles Taylor over there letting him know. But again, the clock continues to roll here, approaching 4 minutes to play. Almost 34 minutes of possession today for North Dakota State. And remember, that was a number that favored South Dakota after a quarter. USD had 8.5 minutes of possession in the first quarter. They had 2 drives. NDSU had just 1. But since then, the Bison have held on to the football for a long time. NDSU 11-3 in conference openers since joining the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Trying for their 12th straight, and Hunter Lipke might have just sealed the deal as he gets in for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. And NDSU has opened this thing up here in the second half.
Late flag, I wonder if it's unsportsmanlike conduct, hardened out of frustration, just kind of pushes Lipke in once he was already in the end zone. Or it looks like it could be on the Bison the way they're talking with the USD coaching staff.
So the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, North Dakota State, number 73. That 15-yard penalty being forced on the kickoff. We'll have 1 on-time down.
Kickoff.
So Mason Miller, the right tackle, flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct. But the touchdown stands, and Crosa on to attempt the extra point as the Bison under 3.5 to play. They get a 17-point lead here in Vermilion. 34-17 your score. Hunter Lipke, 20 carries, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. That one makes it a 17-point North Dakota State lead.
How can you protect your institution's financial security if your business network is vulnerable? Is there a solution? The answer is yes. 50,000 times yes. With SDN's 50,000 miles of managed network solutions on the region's most reliable broadband network for business. SDN Communications. Enjoy the uptime.
Dakota State University is breaking through barriers, and breaking through perceptions about what a South Dakota school can do. Our students aren't posing on the campus green. They're in class, in the lab, and out in the world, doing real work and solving real problems. Discover a school reinventing higher education one degree at a time. Dakota State University.
The communication was unbelievable. Every step of the way, I felt like somebody was there for us to answer any questions that we had.
CU Mortgage Direct is here to assist you with your home buying experience.
We've done a few different mortgages in our lives, and it's honestly been the easiest process. The relationship side has been great. I can't think of another situation where we've had it in a way that felt so comfortable.
CU Mortgage Direct. Simple solutions, direct results.
Well, take a look at the second half possessions offensively for South Dakota. 5 plays, 18 yards and a punt. 3 plays, negative 16 yards and a punt. 3 plays, 7 yards and a punt. 3 plays, 17 yards and a fumble. And that fumble happened at the 35 of North Dakota State. They were moving on that possession, and instead they end up, not only are they not getting a score, which could have made it a 1-score game, they end up allowing NDSU to march it down the field, capitalize on that turnover, get back into the end zone, and instead of potentially being down 1 score, now you're down 3 scores.
Yep, and that's very, very tough to overcome unless you can make some very explosive things happen really quick. But, I mean, what we've been seeing here in the second half, probably not going to happen. The Bison have done a really good job of eliminating penalties in the second half. Be surprised if they had any, except for that one there after the whistle.
Yep.
By Mason Miller. But other than that, they've done a really good job of executing, which was Coach Intz's focus at halftime.
That one forced Cardinal to kick off from his own 20-yard line. Jack Martins returns it to the 40-yard line for South Dakota. And they'll take over from there with 3:18 to play in the ball game. But South Dakota, as we said, headed into the bye next week. Then it's South Dakota State in Brookings on October the 8th. NDSU, on the other hand, still, as we just talked about, no rest for the weary there. They've got Youngstown State coming up on the 1st of October. And then they had 2 Indiana State, 2 games that you would think that the Bison will be heavily favored in. And then they host SDSU in the matchup, the Dakota Marker matchup that everybody gets excited to see every year. That coming up in Fargo on October the 15th. That game also live on Midco Sports. And Camp throws an interception on the first play of the next drive. He was looking for Carter Bell, and there to make the pick for NDSU is Logan Kopp, a redshirt freshman linebacker. And if it wasn't over, it is now.
And I think what happened there too is Carter Bell continues to drift, and Carson Camp throws it to where he was. But at that particular time, it was already replaced by Logan Kopp. 2 turnovers in back-to-back series to basically end your Coyotes' chances at,
and to be honest,
making this a game again.
That's what happened in the first half. Remember, they had those 2 possessions back-to-back in the second quarter. They turned over twice. They got one of them back from the defense. But again here, with, no more room for error. I mean, you've got to get down there and score, and you've got to do it as fast as possible. And instead, they give up another score, or another turnover, and effectively ends their hopes of coming back in this football game. Still over 3 minutes to play. TK Marshall in there for a little work now, and he's stood up by Michael Scott right at the line of scrimmage. Both teams with their full complement of timeouts, although I'm not sure we're going to see either side use one.
Probably not. Lots of turnovers today.
And I would think one more first down for North Dakota State would put you in a spot where taking a knee would be all you'd need to get rid of this thing and get out of here and not get anybody else dinged up. Miller shifts the formation here. 2nd and 10, ball at the 44-yard line. Again, they go to Marshall. And he's knocked down quickly by Brock Mogensen, who's been playing the last couple of weeks with a big club on his right hand. Broke a thumb against Montana, a thumb that has given him some trouble in the past, but that's your all-conference level linebacker, a preseason All-American that's playing essentially with one arm.
Yeah, basically, because the whole hand is clubbed over, so you can't reach out and grab anything with that right arm. I'm actually a little surprised that Cam Miller's still in the game. I mean, obviously, all you're going to do is turn around and hand it off, but why not go ahead and get him out and let Peyton come in?
Cole Payton's a guy that they're very excited about, redshirt freshman out of Omaha, has seen time in the previous 3 games for North Dakota State. And they bring him down right at the line of scrimmage. Bob Nielsen does call a timeout with 1:38 to play.
Yeah, and at this point you ask why Coach Nielsen, why are you going to do that now? Well, you're going to get a punt, you're going to get the possession, and then you're going to have a little time to maybe run some 2-minute style offense and just hopefully build a little bit of confidence back into your offense. Hey, let's go out and get a first down. Let's go out and not turn it over, right? And then use that as just a small boost of confidence back into those guys and say, hey, that's all right. Next week we'll get them. You're not that bad. See what we did at the end there? So that's what he's doing here.
Sure. And what do they say? You can't take them with you, right?
Yeah, might as well burn them out. I would have burned them probably around the 6-minute mark before that last series, but that's why I'm up here and Nielsen's down there.
Carter Bell back at his own 9-yard line as Steindorf comes on to punt it away for North Dakota State. 98 seconds remain in this ball game as Steindorf drives it toward the end zone, gets a great bounce.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at that bounce.
And
it lands
there,
right at the stripe and comes back in.
Jaden Price there to cover it up for NDSU, and that's how you know it's your day.
Yeah, right.
If you're North Dakota State, because that ball had a lot of momentum on it, and it turned pretty well straight sideways, even took a turn south a little bit. And that's why they tell you to get those punts turned over, right, Andre? So you can maybe get lucky on the bounce. It's exactly what you saw highly skilled punters be able to do with regularity, and it leaves a lot of people in awe when they make it happen, and Steindorf did it there.
It's like the golfers who make the ball land and come back to the cup. I'm always impressed.
That's not part of your game?
Oh, absolutely not.
Camp going from bad to worse for him, although he gets free. Spins out of a tackle. Camp turns it upfield. He's all the way out across the 20-yard line. And then a late shot right at the sideline. No flag does come in, as Carson Camp made something out of what looked like disaster there. It looked like they might get home and bring him down for a safety on this play. So somehow, some way, he manages a gain of 21 yards on that.
And ironically enough, it's been how it's been all day. The Bison have gotten pressure, but they've allowed the middle of the field open for Carson Camp to step up and make some plays with his legs. He hasn't made a lot of them, but he has made a few. That was another one. Here, same thing. You get pressure around the outsides. He's able to step up and deliver a strike to Elidor to put them back at midfield.
Kyle's getting a little movement here. Tosses it to Tice, one-handed catch, gets right to the first down marker, and he gets enough. They stop the clock with 59 seconds remaining.
And this momentum is really all Coach Nielsen was looking for when he called that timeout. He wanted to put some of this together so they could have a little bit of confidence heading into next week or into the bye week. Didn't want to go out. It's kind of like you just don't want to go out on negative. You want to go out on something positive.
Over the middle, finds Carter Bell. Down to the 33, another first down, stops the clock with 44 seconds remaining.
First down at the 33-yard line.
Still several Bison starters out there defensively. Camp needs to go, what he does, and he's ripped down from behind at the 29-yard line, and Bob Nielsen calls his second timeout.
Your goal here is definitely to score. The Bison finally, with some coverage on the back end on that last play, which forced Carson to hold on to the ball and eventually, get tackled for a short gain. So you're set up right now, at the 29-yard line. You're going to want to probably have 2 or 3 plays to get 10, 12 yards per. So that means, you either have to protect or you have to give them a pocket where you can step up and deliver a strike. They've had some success over the middle to Elidor. Maybe look for something like that on this play.
So it'll be a 2nd and 6 from the 29 of North Dakota State. Bison faithful, lots to cheer about in this second half. Much more stark contrast to the way this team performed over the opening 2 quarters of play. Camp looking toward the end zone. Carter Bell almost came back and caught that football as Camp kind of threw it up there for grabs, to be honest, and it's broken up down at the 5-yard line.
He was being highly pressured, had to get rid of it. Tries to put some touch on this. You had 2 guys in the area, both Bell and Tice. Bell had a chance at it, but wasn't able to come down with
the pocket would have been there, and he would have been able to stand in there and make a clean throw. Bell was open. Carter Bell's been a little more active in the passing game today. I'm sure something South Dakota fans will be happy to see. And Camp downfield looking Galbraith and broke it up. Nice play there. Playing center field that time was Kubitz, the middle linebacker, and he knocks it down incomplete.
Yeah, just not enough height on that one by Carson Camp. It was the right read. Probably would have had an opportunity to get inside the 10, if nothing else, if not a touchdown. But Kubitz able to stick a mid out there and just tip that ball away.
So 4th down here for South Dakota with 12 seconds remaining. Camp lost the handle on the football. He's going to have to fall on top of it, and that will do it as the Coyotes turn it over on downs, and North Dakota State will finish it off from here officially as they just have to burn the last 6 seconds of the ball game.
Well, we talked about Nielsen calling that timeout to create this or that drive, just to give his offense some momentum, maybe put together some good plays that they can end on a positive note. Unfortunately then you get another drop ball by Carson Camp to actually truly finish off that Coyote offense for today.
That really kind of summed up the second half offensively for South Dakota today. They just didn't, the plays they were able to make that were there for them in the first half, they just couldn't do it in the second half. And a lot of the credit for that certainly has to go to this Bison defense. They answered the call from Coach Entz here in the second half. So Miller out there to take the knee, and that will do it as North Dakota State 24 points unanswered in the second half to get by South Dakota 34-17 after the Bison trailed the Coyotes 17-10 at the half. Coyotes fall to 1-3 overall, now 0-1 in the Valley with the bye week coming up next. NDSU will head home to Fargo. Probably feels like finally for them. They'll host Youngstown State next week at the Fargo Dome. But a final score today, 34-17. Top-ranked North Dakota State wins their Valley opener for the 12th straight year. Hunter Lipke, 146 yards, a couple of scores to help that cause.
Nyberg's Ace is your home renovation place with everything you need to revitalize your space. Helpful is what Nyberg's Ace is all about. Our specially trained staff can help you choose from a huge variety of Benjamin Moore paint to enhance every room in your house, or help you get just the right customized color for your home. Nyberg's Ace has all the right tools for your painting needs from start to finish.
Find value at Nyberg's Ace with our helpful staff, saving you time at our 5 convenient locations.
Across the rural parts of our country, millions live hours away from advanced health care. But at Sanford Health, we believe world-class care belongs to every patient, everywhere, because our patients are our friends, family, and neighbors. We're bringing quality care close to home, quality of life through better health. Not just for the future of our health, but for the health of our future. Here for all, here for good. Sanford Health.
Brett Young Live. Saturday, October 15th at the Shields Arena. ACM Award winner, Brett Young. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or the Shields Arena box office. Don't miss Brett Young Live.
Big second half for Matt Entz and North Dakota State. They outscore South Dakota 24-0 after halftime. Big day all around for Hunter Lipke today, who finishes with 146 yards and a couple of touchdowns, and he's standing by with our David Brown.
All right, thanks, Jay. Hunter, obviously another great game for you and the rest of the backfield. Whether it's you or Kobe or Dom or Tamarick, why is your run game so effective?
I think you just saying that speaks really highly on our offensive line. I mean, all of us running backs are having success today, and that has to do with one thing. It's those big boys up front pushing back the D-line.
It's a 17-10 game at halftime. Obviously, the 2 late touchdowns by USD to end the half probably upset you guys. What was said in the locker room at halftime?
We just had to stop killing ourselves. We were turning the ball over. We were just shooting ourselves in the foot, and we couldn't have that. We were playing sloppy football, so we wanted to play clean football in the second half, and that's what we did.
Obviously, you're listed as a fullback, and obviously you rep for all the fullbacks across the country, but be honest, do you like running for a touchdown more or blocking someone in front of you?
I like being on the football field.
Simple enough. Congrats, Hunter.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Touche, Hunter.
Nice.
Nailed Dave with that response.
I love it.
He had no chance.
That means I'll play guard, tackle, whatever.
Second half highlights brought to you by Avera. Cam Miller got it started with what was a statement drive for NDSU, coming out down 17-10 to start the third quarter. He gets in there to tie it at 17, but then Lipke and that offense moved right back down the field the next time they had it. He gets in for the first of his 2 rushing touchdowns on the day right there, and Bison had their first lead of the day, or since the second quarter, at 24-17. That defense got after Carson Camp and the Coyotes in the second half, limiting them to under 20 plays for the entire second half. Turnovers a big problem for USD on the day. And NDSU, that was when USD had a chance to go down, maybe make this a 1-score game late. Instead, they cough up the football, and Lipke makes them pay with his second rushing touchdown of the day. He finishes, again, 20 carries, 146 yards, an average of 7.3 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns on the day for Hunter Lipke. The Bison start off Valley play for the 12th consecutive season with a win, 34-17 on the road here today against South Dakota. But look at the rushing yards. Last year, South Dakota lost the game in Fargo 52-24. They gave up 303 yards rushing. Today, 356.
Yeah, that's something they obviously are going to have to change if they want to compete with the Bison. You look at third down efficiency, something that they thought they may have turned the corner on after the first 2 weeks. Today, 1 for 10, not very good. And then you'll see the bottom scroll right there, turnovers. When we looked at this at halftime, it was 3-2 in favor of the Bison having the most turnovers. And then you see now it's 4-3. So turnovers killed the Coyotes in that second half.
The Coyotes fall to 1-3 on the season, 0-1 in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. They head into their bye with South Dakota State on the schedule next, coming up October 8th in Brookings. NDSU improves to 3-1 overall, 1-0 in the Valley. They'll host Youngstown State in Fargo next Saturday. But again, your final score here this afternoon, Bison pile up nearly 40 minutes of possession in a 34-17 win over South Dakota. For Andre Fields, David Brown, I'm Jay Elson. Thanks for watching Coyote Football on Midcoast Sports.